Thank you, JC. There's Jeff Hafley with his family walking into the stadium here at Alumni Stadium. That's his paternal family and his football family. Boston College opens up their 2022 campaign here at home. Greg Schiano back at Rutgers and on the road. It's the pupil and the master. Hafley used to work for Schiano. Now they're rivals on the football field. You're watching ACC Network Football presented by Subway. BC running by the Eagle and the fans taking the field here. Looking to improve on a bowl season last year. The bowl got canceled though. So bigger and brighter things ahead for Coach Hafley and Boston College. Rutgers, meanwhile, they were 5-7 last year, but they got an invite to a bowl game.
One,
Gator
two.
Bowl, and they'll look to improve upon that this year as well. Along with Mark Herzog, I'm Chris Cotter. Good to see everybody out there. We're happy to be here at Boston College. And when you think about Jeff Hafley, he's one game over 500 over his first 2 seasons. So entering year 3, I think the expectations are a lot higher, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And Schiano expected him to secure that football. You see him check the ball security, but you know,
always got to do that.
But
right?
You're right. In year 3, Jeff Hafley came in. I'm sure he had some goals and set some goals. When you look at the expectations for this team this year, with returning guys like Phil Dracovic, and then comparing him with Zay Flowers, there is expectation to not only win some games, but to make splash in the ACC. You see Phil Dracovic, what he did in 2020 after transferring in from Notre Dame. He threw for 2,500 yards in one season. Then he got injured last year. Look at Zay Flowers, almost 2,000 career receiving yards, one of the best in school history. And then Pat Garrow at running back, a 1,000-yard rusher, probably the most underrated 1,000-yard rusher in the entire country. So you get those 3 big weapons, pair them with a relatively inexperienced offensive line. So you have this, hey, what are we going to be? But we have to be good now with these guys in the last year at BC.
Well, you mentioned Phil Dracovic injured last year. I mean, he missed 6 games because of that hand injury. Where is he from a mental standpoint right now, and also physically as he gets into his upperclassman years?
Yeah, well, John McNulty was brought in as the offensive coordinator and works a lot with the quarterbacks. And he told us last night, he said, look, I think Phil is probably the most confident he's ever been since being on campus. He has a good feel for the playbook. He has confidence in his arm. He put on about 30 pounds this offseason to just beef up and be a little bit less injury prone. And so I think from hearing from the coaches and from watching him this offseason, Phil Dracovic, he's ready to go.
For Rutgers, a lot of unknowns, and part of it is the quarterback situation. Noah Vedral, he's the veteran, but just literally a couple of hours ago we were told he would not start. Injured, he's day-to-day. So now it looks like they'll move to one of the other 2 quarterbacks they've got on scholarship. Evan Simon or the high-level recruit Gavin Wimsatt.
Yeah, you talk about high-level recruit. Gavin Wimsatt, number 1 player out of Kentucky. You see number 7 quarterback overall ranked by ESPN. He's got all the tools. He has all the things that you want from a quarterback, but he just doesn't have the experience. Evan Simon, on the other hand, a little bit more accurate passer, been in this system a little bit longer. So we'll see who the Scarlet Knights start with as we get underway.
You did the Scarlet Knights bowl game last year, right? Gator Bowl, so you're familiar with kind of the way they ended last year and the way they started this year. Greg Schiano, he's in his 3rd year too, like Hafley, his 3rd year back after that uber successful stint he had the first time at Rutgers. He's trying to rebuild them, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And I think that the Rutgers fans, they have expectations too of Schiano, and maybe expected to be back to where it was when he left right away, but you got to put in some groundwork, and that's what Schiano's talking about doing. Building foundation with his team, getting a bunch of these young guys some experience, and also, they really worked the transfer portal this offseason, bringing in almost an entirely new offensive line through the transfer portal. And it's just about foundational work, building that foundation, and both these teams are going to really focus up front. How well can their big boys play on the offense and defensive line will dictate their season.
BC won the toss, they deferred. TikTok star Danny Longman to kick off. Toe meets leather, and Joshua Youngblood will await this kick down at his own 2-yard line. Rutgers sets up the return. Youngblood's got a lot of room to run and a nice tackle on special teams, preventing a big return by Rutgers. As that was C.J. Burton, the defensive back on special teams, stopping Youngblood from what would have been a long return. Now let's see who Rutgers trots out there, because we still don't know. Is it going to be Wimsatt? Is it going to be Simon?
Yeah, well,
we still don't know. They're in the huddle.
No, we don't know.
Schiano making it mysterious on us.
All right, let's see. And they're going Wildcat. Oh, there you go. Danny Longman taking the snap. Danny Longman actually, he started at quarterback when they first got there, this coaching staff, but Danny Longman transferred from BC, so we are
underway in the most unusual way. Langan with the carry, give him 4 yards before Cam Arnold makes the stop for BC. And he's going to continue with this. Now he brings in Gavin Wimsatt. Okay, number 2 and number 1 in your hearts. Gavin Wimsatt. There he is. A good look at this young man who was a high-level recruit out of Kentucky. And with Vedral's injury, we don't know how bad it is, but this could be the handoff to Wimsatt now in terms of being his team.
Yeah, agreed. Unbalanced set, overload to the right-hand side.
Give up the middle. Kyle Monangai with the carry. Give him about 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and this is kind of what they did in the bowl game. You mentioned the Gator Bowl. Now they're bringing in Evan Simon at quarterback, a little bit more accurate passer. They rotated these 3 guys along with Noah Vedral in that Gator Bowl against Wake Forest, and each one of them has a different quality. Gavin Wimsatt, we talked about his running ability, and now comes in the more accurate passer as they come in on 3rd down and 4 and need to pick up some yardage.
Tight end in motion. Simon to throw. Trying to get it to the tight end. Dropped.
And he had him too. And that was Johnny Langan, who was started at quarterback for that first play. And Johnny Langan, he can do a lot for this team. And good pass to the flat. Just unable to come down with it. Good 3 and out by Boston College's defense. Well, Chris, there's a little preview.
Correct.
We don't know who's going to be a quarterback.
No one knows. It might be every series we get a totally different look from Greg Schiano and Sean Gleason in this offense. 3 and out here for the first possession for the Scarlet Knights. So Adam Korsak.
Zay Flowers returning this punt. That's always dangerous.
Zay Flowers dangerous on the return, and Adam Korsak might be the best punter in America.
Yep.
And just like that, we have a delay of game penalty. First game jitters, I think, for both of these teams a little bit here.
And you know, Johnny Langman, again, we've mentioned his name 4 times, but he plays quarterback, wide receiver, and then running back, and now he forgets to stay on the field for punt team. You know, can't blame the kid. Got a lot of things going on.
Let's see if that affects Korsak. He's got a big leg. Australian-style kicker gets it off to Flowers, makes the fair catch at his 26. Now Phil Dracovic takes over, and we'll get a chance to see him for the first time this season.
Here's Phil. You know, he played 6 games last year, had that injury, but you see his first 10 career games. That is just outstanding. Passed really everybody in those first 10 games, missed the last 6 with that hand injury. And, you know, Todd McShay looks at this guy as a big, strong quarterback that can be like that old school pocket passer, but he has mobility with his feet. That makes him really dangerous.
Tight end Takis lines up in the backfield. Fake to Garrow, pressure on the edge, and they get to him. Fumble on the field. Oh, Dracovic fell back on it. Tareem Powell had the ball right there on his fingertips, couldn't cover it up as Robert Longerbeam came from his corner spot on the blitz. It looked like he was almost surprised he had that much freedom.
And nice blitz by Robert Longerbeam, and you see him at the bottom of your screen. He just comes on a corner blitz, and that's the type of thing that the wide receiver out there, Jaden Williams, younger guy, he needs to alert his quarterback, hey, we might get a blitz here. Good job getting the ball back by Phil Dracovic. Good first play by Rutgers D.
Loss of about 10. Dracovic now to throw. As a receiver over the middle, complete. Jalen Gill makes the grab, close to the sticks. I think he's going to be about a yard shy. Christian Izzy on the defense, and BC wants to go quickly here on 3rd and 1.
Both those first 2 plays were targets down the field.
Dracovic to throw. Has time over the middle, has a receiver wide open. That's Zay Flowers. Into Rutgers territory, 1st down.
Well, Jeff Hafley might have said 1,000 times this offseason, we need to get Zay Flowers the ball more. That first pass was going to go to him. This 3rd pass went to him.
Drakovic's going to run. Has blocking on the edge, picks up the 1st down and more. And that's going to make Coach Hafley smile and offensive coordinator John McNulty, because Dracovic went out of bounds before taking a big hit.
He did go out of bounds. You still wanted to break a tackle. Jumped over that guy a little bit, but I mean, this speed to this offense, this is not what we saw last year from Boston College. They were a huddle team. This is pure no-huddle, fast-paced offense.
Pocket is there to try to hit Garwo, and just too high, too much mustard on that pass as well. Tareem Powell on the stop.
Brought in another offensive lineman Dwayne Alec, number 53, checked into the game. So now they have 6 offensive linemen in the game.
Give to Garwo, bounces it outside. Good job by Rutgers in pursuit. Give him maybe a yard. Powell again on the tackle.
Yeah, good job by Tareem Powell. 6'5", 240-pound sophomore out of New Jersey. And when you look at the linebacking core and really, a lot of the back end of this defense for Rutgers, a lot of young guys, a lot of inexperience. And so, with very few game reps, I know Shiano was looking forward to seeing what he's going to get from those linebacker and nickel group.
3rd and 9 for Jakovic. Rutgers brings a little pressure. Has Flowers at the 10, almost makes a great catch, but can't bring it in.
And Flowers had him beat. Ball was a little bit too far out, a little bit too flat from Phil Jakovic. I see him get a little more air on it, but it's close. It's really close. And last year, Zay Flowers had a lot of those, a lot of close catches that didn't necessarily go his way. Obviously, he had a quarterback in there that wasn't his starter, but those are the types of plays. Yes, it's the first drive of the season, but those have to get better for Boston College.
Avery Young to return this punt. Now, inside the 5, beautiful coffin corner kick by Boston College. Scoreless here early in Chestnut Hill.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs.
Great uniforms. Look at those Rutgers unis. Ray Lucas back in the day. First Big East game between these two teams back on August 31st, 1991. Kicked off that season. They were two teams that played in the Big East for quite some time, and also when they were independents.
Yeah.
Northeastern Independents played against each other a bit. Now Rutgers in the Big Ten. Boston College in the ACC. You get a false start against Rutgers to start this series deep in their own territory. Talking to Greg Schiano about his first stint at Rutgers, he said, I always thought we were a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
I always thought it made sense for Rutgers to be in the Big Ten. They weren't back then, but they are now in his second stint.
Yeah, he's up. This is where we're supposed to be. And I think it helps with recruiting a little bit more Midwest, more Ohio guys, Indiana.
On the carry, that's Monangai. Gives him about 4 or 5 yards. Jaden Woodby on the stop. Going to see a lot of Monangai today. Aaron Young, who also shares the backfield with him, not able to go today because of an injury. So we'll see 23 in white. Probably also see Al-Shadi Salam, maybe even a little bit of the true freshman from Philly, Sam Brown. Wildcat again with Johnny Langan, the tight end. Bring a receiver in motion out back near side. Langan's going to run it himself. For a little room in the middle, got a little room, maybe 4 yards. Still shy of the first down, so it'll bring up a big 3rd down from the shadow of their own goalpost.
And good job running on 1st and 2nd down, getting out of that 1 yard line, pushing it out a little bit, room for your all-world, all-American punter if that becomes the case. But right now, on 3rd and 3, you've been picking up about 3 yards a clip on that little Langdon run or Monangai run up the middle. Let's see if they stay on the ground. As Evan Simon's back in the game.
Simon to throw. Has all kinds of time. Now it breaks down and he gets horse collar down around the 5. Then it forces an errant throw, and that'll force Rutgers to punt. Sheeta Salah with the pressure.
Yeah, and they are counting on Sheeta Salah to pick up where he left off with an injury. You see him at the top of your screen. Good job of getting your arms and pushing back the offensive lineman. That's Willie Tyler, transferred from ULM, super senior. And Sheeta Salah, when he first got to campus, there was a lot of expectations around him with his size, his ability. He's put on about 20 or 30 pounds, and you saw that power he had. Good bull rush.
More flags. Another penalty on special teams against Rutgers.
False start. Offense number 0. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And this gets a little iffy when you're talking about punting out of this, back of your end zone with your heels towards the end, because usually a rugby-style punter, so he's going to roll out to his right and punt. And let's see if Boston College comes off that left edge.
Corsack end over end. Flowers wants everyone to get away from it, and it takes a BC bounce, dead at the 41. Good field position again for the Eagles. 35 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. You know, we talked very briefly in the open, Mark, about the offensive line for Boston College, and last year, loaded with talent. I mean, 4 out of the 5 guys last year are on NFL rosters now, and the 5th, Christian Mahogany, may end up being as good as all of them, but he got injured before the year started.
Yeah, I mean, you look at these guys, and first of all, you won't see any of these guys today. It's all new.
Right. You may see him next Sunday.
Right, on the offensive line. You will see him next Sunday. But, you know, it all starts in the middle. Drew Kendall is a guy that coaches are very excited about. Obviously, he's young, but coaches think, look, he could be like a 2-time captain, a guy who plays in the NFL, maybe not one of those first-round picks, but he's just unproven, and he did miss some camp with injury.
Hand off to Garwo. He picks up a yard at best. Deion Jennings on the stop.
And there's Mahogany right there. And, you know, at Boston College, the Boston College fan base, the Boston College alumni, even the Boston College players, they really believe that this is like O-line U, especially at the ACC. And to not have anyone returning is very rare. I mean, you know, you see all the first-round picks that Boston College had, and the majority of those are offensive linemen. So this will be a big question mark, how well they can play and protect Phil.
Protection for Jakovic over the middle. It's a tight end, complete to the 20. Inside the 20, down to the 17. Takis. Now, George Takis is a very interesting individual, transferred in from Notre Dame, where they have probably the best tight end in the country. So Takis is like, I'm more than just a blocking tight end. I can catch the ball, and he proved it there. Yeah,
and John McNulty, who was his coach at Notre Dame, you know, he really said, hey, look, I want you to stay at Notre Dame. When Takis was thinking about transferring out, then McNulty got the job. Look at this just a perfect pass.
Yep.
Right over top. But yeah, McNulty gets the job here, and Takis is like, whoa, wait a second. Let me come with you. So they brought him here, and they've been really impressed with his speed and size.
There's McNulty. Now Jakovic is going to tuck it and run. Tries to bounce it outside. Now he'll throw dangerously as his receiver already broke off his route to block for him. And Jaden Williams wasn't expecting the pass. It flies over his head harmlessly in the end of the day.
Well, if there's one thing that you should expect with Phil Dracovic with the ball in his hand is that you don't know what to expect. I mean, he is so good at when the normal play breaks down to make something else happen and usually make a good decision. You know, that right there, that pass was an incomplete pass. You know, it could have been much worse. Good job getting the ball away.
Second down and 10, pressure coming, gets it to Flowers in the end zone behind his shoulder, and he makes a great catch.
Wow, how did he catch that? I was about to say, man, that's a great coverage by Max Melton, but beautiful concentration by Zay Flowers, and that's the first. That's the first of the touchdowns between 5 and 4.
And that puts Flowers over 2,000 career receiving yards here at Boston College. And it gives the Eagles the lead. Connor Litton for the PAT. Splits the uprights. 7-0 BC here early.
Zay Flowers in the slot, makes a good move on the outside. Watch this concentration. Comes down for the first touchdown catch at Alumni Stadium.
On the receiving end of a Phil Dracovic touchdown pass. BC up top here early, 7-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, you see Zay right there. He's doing my job. He's analyzing his own play. Gave a little juke, faded outside, got the ball down low. But you watch this, good protection, and then this concentration. I mean, there's a hand on his face mask. Good job of getting low, coming back to the football, and yeah, that's what McNulty wants. I mean, you've seen the first 2 drives. They've been consistent throws directed 10-plus yards downfield, whether it's been to Jalen Gill or Zay Flowers. They want to be a vertical attacking offense, and then that's what opens up some things for Pat Garrow in the run game.
Youngblood's going to watch this one sail over his head, touchback. Get a chance to see this Rutgers offense, multi-dimensional Rutgers offense here early.
And really the question is, okay, do they how comfortable they feel with the downfield passing game, right? You know, when you're playing a team like Boston College that will throw the ball a lot downfield, and if they are successful, you know, sticking with the 2-3 yard gains on the ground, you know, it's good early, but you got to be able to open up the defense a little bit. And we get Wimsett in the game again, a quarterback.
Al-Shadi Salam is flanking Wimsett in the backfield. Langan in motion. Wimsett to throw, pressure up the middle, tries to get it to his back out of the backfield and does. That's Salam, picks up about 7 yards. Cam Arnold from his linebacker spot going out to the sideline and make the tackle.
Nice job by Wimsett. Bryce Steele is coming on an inside blitz. Good job of getting the ball out there, finding his guy, picking up gain of 7.
Now Rutgers wants to move a little quickly. Wimsett will run it. Langan out there making a block midfield. He's got good speed. 40, 30, trying to stiff arm a defender at the 20. That's where they'll track him down. Loses the ball, but he was down already.
And there
48 yards.
There it is. That's why this guy is in the game right now. And really good job by 21 Langan of getting 2 in terms of blocking on that play and good speed, getting down the field. Boston College, another team that, again, inexperienced at linebacker. They're excited about what Cam Arnold's doing. Was a safety. This is his 2nd year at linebacker. Bryce Steele, first time starting.
Give to Langan on the end around.
Nice play.
Defense is there to stop him after a 2-yard gain. Cam Arnold again.
Cam Arnold, man. Cam Arnold came up and just annihilated the blocker. Really good job.
That one run by Wimsett, 48 yards, more than doubling the total offense by Rutgers to that point in the game. Now set up in the red zone, 2nd down and 8. Give to Monangai, he lowers his shoulder, give him about 3.
And, you know, this is a point of emphasis, too, for this Rutgers team. Not great in the red zone last year. They were 110th in the nation in terms of coming away with scores in the red zone offensively, and this 3rd down's big.
A lot of substitutions for Boston College.
And Rutgers did not substitute, but Rutgers did substitute, so Boston College had an opportunity to get his guys on.
Hafley didn't like what he saw, though, wants to talk things over.
First time out.
Big
Boston
3rd down in the
College.
red zone defensively, wanted to bring his guys over to make
1 minute
sure they were
time.
all lined up correctly. You can see him having a word there with C.J. Burton, one of the young cornerbacks. ACC Network, the rest of our triple header coming up here, 3:30 Eastern, Bethune-Cookman in Miami. As we see Mario Cristobal making his debut at head coach, and then at 8 o'clock Eastern, Louisville and Syracuse, our ACC primetime game. More Malik Cunningham. He's one of those guys you're like, he still has eligibility left. Malik Cunningham is still there. Yeah, he's still there. He's going to make a lot happen tonight.
Yeah, make a lot happen. And, you know, the offense really runs through him, and they've done a good job of recruiting at Louisville. They had a bunch of really, really young guys last year. Excited to see how they've developed this offseason. And there's a guy right there who's excited to see how his defense is going to hold up on 3rd and 5 in the red zone.
Wimsett's going to throw quickly into the flat. Finds his receiver. Nice job defensively to come up and make the hit and prevent Shameen Jones from getting even more than he did, but he's right at the stick.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And I don't know if I know anything about Greg Schiano, even if they don't get it, which I think they signaled that they do get it here.
They did.
I think feel like Schiano would have gone for it.
He had to get right to the 10.
And that elbow came down just short, but it looks like the ball is also the heel of the ball is just short of that line, and they measured it good.
1st down and goal. Monangai in the backfield gets the handoff up the middle. Right into the teeth of that BC defense. A little pushing and shoving here on the outside between Sean Ryan and cornerback Josh DeBerry.
Schiano, I love when you get a new position group that is, hasn't played a lot together with this offensive line for Rutgers, and they're just pounding the ball at the middle. They're saying, look, we got some big dudes up front. We go like 320, 315, 300, 335, 330. All right, we're going to run straight, try to get 2 or 3 yards in these inside handoffs.
Wimsatt to throw. Into the corner of the end zone, first tight end. Langen, a lot of pushing and shoving, and now we get a flag. Looked like Woodby was out there on him, a little wrestling with the tight end, Johnny
offense.
Langen.
Looked like Johnny Langen was pushing too.
Result of the play was an incomplete pass interference, offense number 21. 15-yard penalty, second down.
And I think the reason was it didn't look like Johnny Langen looked back for the football at all. It was almost like he was out there blocking. But you see him on the right-hand side of the screen. It was kind of before that, but little push off. That's going to back Rutgers up. And
4th penalty against Rutgers already on the day for 27 yards, and this is a really costly one. Now all the way back to the 23-yard line of BC is Coach Schiano now trying to dial something up from distance.
Yeah, and Gavin Wimsatt, understand you're still in field goal range. Be careful with the football.
Quickly out to Cruikshank. Flag down. Cruikshank makes a couple of men miss inside the 15. Let's check the marker. Looks like we got another one coming in too at the same spot. That's got to be a hold on the outside, I would think.
Yeah. Possibly a legal formation and then also a hold, but get the ball in number 1's hands. Cruikshank, he's a dangerous returner. Make guys miss.
Our referee today, Greg Bloom.
And see that, that penalty's hard too. We'll see what it actually ends up being right here, but if it is holding.
There are 2 fouls in the offense, illegal formation, more than 4 in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense number 5, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Sean Ryan on the outside, as we suspected with the hold. Rutgers moving in the wrong direction after getting in the red zone.
Yeah, and the holding was on against Josh DeBerry too. See number 21 reaching out for that, and that's just an effort play by Josh DeBerry. Got a little bit extra on the jersey, but now you're in a situation when now you're field goal range, or the edge of the field goal range for Rutgers. So getting 6 or 7 yards here on second down, setting up a third down that can possibly get back closer, would be huge.
Fake to Manon guy. Wimsatt will throw. Has all kinds of time down the middle of the field. Overthrows his receiver. Intended that time for Joshua Youngblood, and Elijah Jones was on coverage.
And those deep ball accuracy, that's one thing that Wimsatt's working on. The coaches have worked on that with him. Sean Gleason told us, he's gotten a lot better in the intermediate, short passing range in terms of his accuracy. And some of those long balls of just getting the ball placed correctly have been a difficult challenge. On third down, this is like 3rd and a mile. It's kind of like just protect the football, don't turn the ball over.
Another flag on the play.
False start. Offense number 57. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And remember, this is 3rd and goal.
They were at the 8-yard line just moments ago.
Yeah.
Now they're at the 38-yard line.
Yeah.
That's at least the 3rd false start penalty we've seen against Rutgers in this first quarter. First 10 minutes of the game.
There's something to be said about setting up Adam Korzik for a nice coffin corner punt, but this was not how they planned on doing it.
It's not the game plan. They're not trying to do that. So it's 3rd and a mile for Wimsatt. Chris Long in motion. Wimsatt's got time. Now the pocket breaks down. Chased.
Holding.
Wimsatt is chased and tracked down and sacked. That was Jalen Blackwell who chased him down and dropped him for a loss.
Yeah, good speed by Jaden Blackwell. It was
Offense
also
number 72,
holding
that penalty is
on that
declined.
call.
4th down.
You see the holding right there on 97, but they are excited about number 2, Bryce Steele, and number 8, Jalen Blackwell at that linebacker position. We talked with Coach Lukabu, the defensive coordinator. He said, these guys are what you see in the SEC. These are the type of speed and size you get from linebackers in nowadays football, and really good play. Bring it down for the sack.
All right, Adam Korsak, the punter for Rutgers. Only 1 touchback in his entire career, and that was because the coach asked him to punt it through the end of the end zone. So he takes pride in never having purposely gotten a touchback. This one's got a chance, though, inside the 5, and that's what he does. I mean, kills it perfectly inside the 5-yard line, and that's where BC will take over when we come back. Job well done for Korsak, but not the Rutgers offense. Couldn't put any points on the board there. Last time Boston College had the board, Mark, didn't have a whole field to travel, and they didn't need long to travel.
No, it only needed 4 plays. This really amazing pass over the middle to their new tight end, George Takis, set up this perfect pass, and really good adjustment by Zay Flowers to catch the ball in the end zone. And they started with amazing field position. Not so much here as they're backed up in their own goal line.
From inside his end zone, Dracovic takes the ball and gets it to Garwo. Now Garwo has much more speed this time around. He's lost a little bit of weight, Mark. He's leaned up, and maybe that helps him with the speed in terms of being able to bounce it outside and break a long one.
Yeah, and coach's talk, he's not going to be a guy that is going to break an 80-yard run. Just, not that same top-end speed, but he has such good agility, such good vision of the hole. Did a really good job here. Good. Watch that left side of the offensive line. Did a good job of sticking on their blocks, especially number 74, Finn Dristine. Good job by Garwo finding it.
Now he's under center. Takes a snap, fakes it to Garwo. Play action. Downfield for Takis. Defended on the play well.
Yeah, good coverage by Jordan Thompson, the defensive end who was running with the tight end. That is not an easy cover, and Phil saw that. He said, look, I know number 14. That dude's not a DB. Let me try to throw it out there, but good job of making that coverage. Really impressive.
Give to Garwo around the end. Got blockers in front of him. Met by Ifeanyi Maije. Give him about 6.
A little bit different scheme. Boston College fans for the past couple years under Frank Cignetti have been so used to zone run, zone run, zone run. Well, Jeff Hafley said, look, we want to be able to do different things. Had 2 guards pulling on that last play for that big pickup, setting up 3rd down and 4.
Rutgers only brings 4, so Dracovic has time underneath. Zay makes one-man miss, gets to the sticks, picks up a 1st down.
Well, Tim Lukabu said, I don't know if I've ever seen the first guy tackle Zay, and that still holds true. He understands his body so well, he understands his speed so well, got great feet.
How about how great of a catch that was?
Yeah,
that ball got to him so fast.
That's a good point.
He's only like 5 yards downfield. Now he can't handle the handoff, and he's going to try and make something happen, and almost squirted through there.
Yeah, and this is going to be one thing that the offensive staff is going to have to just recognize early, is that, again, it's the first game for everybody. Zay, they want him to get 15, 20 touches in the game, but he's going to tire out.
That's actually a pass.
Yep.
Dracovic just popped it up in the air for him, but it wasn't ruled a pass. It was ruled a handoff. I believe it was. It's 2nd down and 10.
The result will be the same pretty much
Correct,
either way.
Yeah. Not good for BC, and a good 1st down defensive stand for Rutgers. See what BC could do now behind the chains. Good size hole for Garwo. Shuts down quickly. Powell on the stop for Rutgers. Picks up 3. So 3rd down and 7. Good opportunity for Coach Shiano and Harasimiak. Joe Harasimiak, the new defensive coordinator. They got 5 new coaches on Rutgers defense to make a defensive stop right here and get the ball back.
Yeah, got 5 new coaches on Boston College offense as well. And Zay Flowers back in the game. Down the bottom of your screen. One-on-one with Max Melton.
Got Alex Sinkfield in the backfield for BC. Good pass catcher. Zay Flowers underthrown and intercepted.
Great play.
Beautiful play by Christian Braswell.
Nice job, Christian Braswell. Transferred in from Temple. He's a super senior, and he does a phenomenal job of getting out to the flat and then deepening with no threat. Watch him. See number 6, his eyes back at the quarterback, but there's no one in the flat underneath, so he can sink all the way back. He does a nice job of getting under that 7 route. I'd like to see Dracovic throw the ball a little bit more towards the boundary, but big play for Rutgers. Let's see if they can get something going on the offensive side of the football.
First turnover of the day for BC, and Evan Simon coming out now at quarterback for Rutgers. Kyle Monangai at tailback. Simon to throw. Monangai out of the backfield. Got out to about the 45. Good pickup on first down before Jalen Blackwell could make the stop.
See Simon right there, out of Mount Joy, PA. Pretty much 90% of this roster is from either PA, New York, or New Jersey. And got in some games last year, had some success throwing the football, played in that bowl game as I mentioned earlier, and you're going to see just a lot of good accurate throws. Catches, run after the catch when he puts the ball in the right spot, and they like that about him.
Quickly has a receiver.
Just
down
like
to the
that.
40, right? Sean Ryan, transfer from West Virginia. Now they're moving.
And when you put the ball out in front of a wide receiver who's covered man-to-man, it's great because the rest of the men are running away from the football, and you get to have that yak. And they love that about Evan Simon.
Sean Ryan, part of this receiving core that got the influx of 2 big-time transfers, not only himself from West Virginia, but also Taj Harris from Syracuse, who could be a return man if you need him as well. Haven't called his number yet today, but I'm sure we will. Flag down on the play, or a whistle. End of the first quarter.
That's the end
Clock
of the
ran
first
out
quarter.
before they got the snap off,
Time
so we'll
on
move
the
to the
field.
second. Rutgers on the move again. They were denied the last time they got deep into Boston College territory. Can they get back there and finally put some points on the board? We'll find out when we come back. Zay Flowers knows how to put points on the board. 6 for BC. They lead early. Nothing Boston College on top of Rutgers as we start the second quarter. Look at that street sign on the north end. That's exactly what driving around Boston's like.
There you go.
Turn right, turn left.
Every Italian word I know is on
One-way
that
street,
sign.
one-way street. Now one way the other way. End around here, Crookshank. That's what you got to do. Get him the ball in space, and he gets 9 yards for you.
Yeah, and good job by Rutgers. A lot of the bang you up the middle runs. You get the sweeps with Crookshank. You get some quick passes on the outside. They're really spreading the football around in terms of the placement on the field, making Boston College defense run sideline to sideline, tiring them out a little bit. See number 55, Quan Williams, D-tackle, 4-star for Boston College in there in the game right now.
Wimsett, he can run it. Instead, he gets it out dangerously to Langen. That's a really nice catch by Langen.
Yeah.
Because that may have been a fumble. That was close to a lateral. Either way, Langen was able to bring it in and get something positive out of it, enough to move the chains.
Yeah, good job of keeping your eyes on your quarterback, right? That's knowing what guy has the football. He can do both things. And yeah, you're right. Langen, little relief valve, good job bringing that ball in, enough to pick up a first down. And you see the kind of the change of pace, right? Rutgers and BC, neither one of them are going to be fast-paced all game. Sometimes they'll huddle up, and now Langen back in at quarterback.
With Monangai at tailback. They go with the reverse, and Langen is there to give a block to Crookshank. He's inside the 10. To the goal line, he'll score.
Wow. Back-to-back Crookshank reverses. Great play design and phenomenal block by 77 Willie Tyler. Watch him on the left-hand side of the line. He'll come back in the screen eventually. Good block by Langen, and then out here all the way downfield, working on the defensive back, Jason Maitrey. And that's why Aaron Cruikshank's on this team. They brought him in as a transfer from Wisconsin. He was an all Big Ten returner for Wisconsin. And now he's doing the same types of things here at Rutgers.
The Irishman, Jude McAtamney, with the point after try. Good snap, good hold, and wide right. Off the post, and this is, boy, the special teams for Rutgers have not been stellar today, and that's another example. 7-6, unable to tie the score, but Cruikshank was able to find the end zone for the first time on the day, and it's 7-6 BC on top. Okay. 7-6 our score in the second quarter. Jude McAtamney will kick off for Rutgers. Cruikshank on that drive. 2 carries, 35 yards. That one pop pass was ruled a carry.
Yeah, and I don't know if it should have been,
but it was.
It's all right.
He'll take the 35 yards, and he'll take the touchdown.
Yeah.
So will Rutgers, even though they still trail because they missed the PAT. Speedster Jaden Williams deep for Rutgers, or for Boston College. Coach Gianos wants to make everything interesting today. McAtamney out of the back of the end zone, touchback. Let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Larisha Harris.
Well, guys, we know that Coach Hafley had the opportunity to work with Coach Greg Schiano. He was there at Rutgers for 1 season, and he told me he learned detail, how to hold people accountable, and work ethic. But what was so meaningful was simply that during that time, Coach Hafley's dad was diagnosed with cancer. So being close to home and being able to constantly care for his father, that made everything all the better.
Yeah, you saw in that team picture, Coach Hafley top left and Schiano front and center.
Yeah, when Hafley was telling us about that story too, he was at Pitt and was pretty happy there, but he got that news of the diagnosis for his father, and it just so happened that Schiano had known him as a recruiter and called him right around the same time, and Hafley hopped on that. His father thankfully lasted about another year, and he got to spend a lot more time with him because he was back home in New Jersey where he grew up, and talking to Hafley, very thankful for that opportunity from Schiano.
Nice play by another cat from New Jersey, Tyree Powell, making the stop there on what looked like a design run from Djokovic, although it wasn't designed very well, or at least blown up by Rutgers, gain of half a yard. Rutgers got a little bit of momentum after that scoring drive. 2 good drives offensively for them, even though they were only able to get points on that last one. Now Djokovic is flush, wants to throw, flag down, does finally get rid of it, hits Takis. Bobbled it, but brought it in before he falls out of bounds. That's a first down, but we'll check the marker.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Holding on Jack Conley, right guard. First BC penalty of the day, Mark.
Yep, you see the right guard right here, getting that arm hooked around, and good call by the officials.
MyJ was like, what? Both arms up. Of course you're going to sell that if you're a defensive lineman, right?
I mean, you got it.
Look at this. Look what's happening to me over here.
Watch where Zay is. Zay's in the slot down the bottom of your screen, going in motion over by a tight end. Could be a screen out there.
Fake to Garwo. Djokovic is looking that way. Now it breaks down. He has time, though, as he's scrambling. Directing Garwo will try and get there on his own and can't get very far.
And he had Jaden Williams downfield. One thing Phil Djokovic is so good at and so dangerous with is keeping his eyes downfield on those scrambles. That was a miss. That's towards the bottom of the screen, right on the 30-yard line. Number 0, Jaden Williams. You see, he comes open right here. And he is wide open. And Phil Djokovic, if he had the eyes downfield a little more, that's a play that he can make. And now bring up 3rd and 2 sticks.
Clean pocket. Diving catch made by Takis, but he's going to be a long way away from picking up the first down. Good catch by Takis. And really good job by Rutgers defense. Understanding
the situation of the game. Look, they got to get 14 yards. If they catch it for a gain of 8, that's fine. Get the ball back and
get it in this man's hand right here, standing at the 29. That's Crookshank. Danny Longman will put a toe into it. Wobbly kick that Crookshank is going to let bounce, and it takes a nice BC bounce. Down just outside the 25. And we'll see Rutgers again back out on the field. You know, the old adage, if you don't have one quarterback, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. Well, Rutgers sort of has 3 quarterbacks because they're using Johnny Langan in the Wildcat. And yet on those last 2 drives, it seems to be working for him, other than the penalties on that first drive that backed him out of scoring position. Yeah, you know, that's what Schiano and the staff's talking to these guys right now. Like, look, let's settle down. We had a good drive last time out. Let's try to repeat that, move the ball downfield. So far, it's a 6-7 game. This is a field position game. Let's keep our heads and play our type of football. They've outgained Boston College so far in this game. Now Evan Simon back at quarterback. Give to the true freshman Brown. Not much doing there. Gets maybe a yard. Another good play by Jalen Blackwell. Sorry, that might have been Jaden Woodby. Safety coming down. And you see Schiano there, and we talked about their relationship, Hafley and Schiano, and it was kind of interesting. During that year that Hafley was at Rutgers, you know, that's when Schiano was interviewing for that Tampa Bay job, you know, kind of unbeknownst to Hafley. They were on a recruiting trip, and Hafley was going to close a guy, and Schiano never showed up. So I was like, he must have gotten this Tampa job, and then you don't know whether you have a job. Yeah, but Schiano called, hey, I want to bring you with me, and that's really how Hafley made the jump into the NFL coaching tree. Now almost hit the tight end in motion on the snap. Little confusion, tried to hit his running back Monongai, but he was laid out by Jason Maitre. And Jason Maitre read that the entire way. As Gavin Wimstead starts rolling out, Maitre is eyeing up the target. Boom! Man, good timing on that play. Didn't get there too early. Good hit, legal hit. That'll get the fans fired up. 3rd and 9. Haven't seen a ton of pressure from BC. Let's see if they bring at the bottom. You see Jaden Woodby, number 9. See if he comes on a blitz. They were bringing it, but we got a whistle. Schiano and company may have seen it. They may not have liked it, calling timeout to talk it over. Rutgers facing a 3rd down. When we come back, going to take a quick break. 7-6 score here in the second quarter. You know, Coach Hafley was not only DC at Ohio State, but defensive backs coach in the NFL with Cleveland, San Francisco, Tampa Bay. Tem Lukabu also NFL experience, now the DC here. Look at that turnaround, Mark. Yeah, you know, when they first got here, you talked to Tem Lukabu, and he analyzed the defense, and look, it just wasn't good enough. And nothing against anyone who was here before, just this is not what's going to get wins in the ACC. And you look what they've done. I mean, they shaved out about 130 yards from the total yards and about 10 points, and that makes a huge difference. And they were the number 3 pass defense in the entire country last year. And it's because of situations like this, getting teams in 3rd and 9, and they have huge experience at defensive backs. Obviously, they have great coaching. And right there, you see number 20, Elijah Jones, probably one of their best cover guys at corner. 3rd and 9, Crookshank in motion. Simon faked it to him, now gets it underneath. Unfortunately, Youngblood couldn't do much with it after he caught it. Certainly not enough to pick up the first down. Donovan Ezeraku was there to make the stop, and it's 4th down. Yeah, and good job by Marcus Valdez, defensive end. Fifth-year senior for them, and he read the screen, popped out from that defensive spot, was the first guy to slow down Youngblood. Youngblood, another one of those guys. You talk about Crookshank, his ability to return the football, big play capability, but Youngblood, you know, he's a transfer from K-State. I mean, he's just phenomenal. He had 3 kickoff returns for a touchdown when he was playing at Kansas State. Corsack. He'll get a bounce off of this one, and does. Right at the 21. BC will take over there. Part of what makes Corsack so good is the fact that when you get that running Aussie start, just get a roll on the ball a lot, and it's hard to return it, so you get that net punting.
Well, there's that, and also he has a fantastic number, which helps him on the punt game.
I'm sure.
Yep.
But when you were wearing that number, I'm sure you weren't thinking, man, I could be a great punter.
No, I wasn't.
If only I got a shot.
But it's a good number for any position. But, you see that Aussie rugby-style punt, he understands, you watch Sundays, you don't see them. So one of the things he did, and Schiano really went to him and said, look, we want to work on your pro-style punting that offseason. He did that, and so, he's going to play at the next level on Sundays at some point.
Kovic to Cam Barfield, and here's another young player that Boston College coaches are very excited about. Barfield, a true freshman from Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're excited about him, and rightfully so. They got a lot of guys, a couple young running backs that we might see. Alex Broom, another one. But when you look at this, you look at this running back. We're used to seeing the A.J. Dillon, the Andre Williams, the big 6'1", 240-pound back. These guys are 5'7", 5'8", 5'8", 5'8", 5'9". I mean, they're small, but they're powerful guys.
Yeah, the days of 12 personnel and a 230-pound back in there are probably gone here at Boston College.
Gone everywhere.
Kovic looking to throw. Sidesteps pressure. Hits Zay underneath. Now what can Zay do after the catch? He's got a block. Got another one downfield by Jalen Gill. Gets it into Rutgers territory.
Filter Kovic doesn't have to run to be effective with his feet. Just look how he stops here. Bam! Give myself a little time, scoot through, and then Zay Flowers those hands. You caught the ball with his fingertips, picked the ball up, and doesn't even need his mouthpiece. Might look at it to see if the ball touched the ground or not. But
temporary whistle on the play. Looked like we had an equipment malfunction. Now everything's back straight and ready to go.
There you go.
5 catches, 70 yards on the day so far for Zay Flowers, and a touchdown. Kovic still to throw. Steps up, Takis. You can see those hands. Did he hang on to it? He did.
Yep. And you're going to get a mix with John McNulty. You're going to get a mix of some of the college zone read stuff, some of the pulling guard, power runs. But then that was just a pure tight end option. That Dallas Cowboys have run that forever. Tony Romo and Jason Witten made millions and millions of dollars on that exact play. So you're going to get some of that pro influence as well with this offense.
2nd down and 6. Freshman Barfield in the backfield. Somebody jumped. Officials had to blow the whistle on that one, as Bailey was in the backfield for Rutgers.
Offside defense. Entering the neutral zone, touching offensive lineman, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Another false start / offsides call.
Correction, second down.
Against Rutgers. Seen so many of them already here in the first half. 7th penalty of this half against Rutgers so far. Garwo back into tailback. He'll get the carry up the middle. Can't get away from the first defender. Beautiful play by Deion Jennings.
Deion Jennings, 2 really good tackles on this drive. Coach loves to see that from these young linebackers. 3rd down now. 3rd and 1 for Boston College. Garwo in the backfield brought in their big guys. Got the kind of 2 tight ends set with that extra offensive lineman. This smells like downhill run all day.
Smelled it right. Sidestep, though, just enough to pick up that first down.
Yeah, and just enough. Pat Garwo in between the tackles, that's where he makes his money. Watch him find this hole, because that initial hole is not there, and then does a good job of setting up the block for his tight end George Takis, and then sneaking back inside to pick up that yard. And as those inside run plays become more effective, it sets up the long play action shots to guys like Jaden Williams and Zay Flowers.
Now Flowers in motion to the top of your screen, comes back. Garwo. Nothing doing. All kinds of white jerseys in the backfield, led by Aaron Lewis.
Yeah, that one didn't work.
What do you got for us, Larisha?
we've been talking about Phil Dracovic and also seeing, how mobile he is. He's big, he can move. We know his throwing ability, but the uniqueness that offensive coordinator John McNulty says he really admires about Phil is just his thoroughness. He's very detailed, and he can see everything on the field, and I think, Mark, you've noticed that as well.
Oh, yeah. He's just so, and that's what makes him so special. Even in that 2020 year, he didn't even know what he was doing, really. But he just could see guys open and make those throws, and a lot of that goes to the wide receivers of being where they're supposed to be.
Rolls to his right. Has a receiver downfield. No problem inside the 30, down to the 26.
That's one of those plays, right? The wide receiver's where he's supposed to be, but you tell quarterbacks, let's not throw the ball back across our body into the middle of the field, but Dracovic can do that because of the accuracy and knowing where exactly the guys are going to be.
Jade Williams to move the chains. Throwing again, now pressure. Tries to force it to Williams. Knocked away nicely that time by Kassan Abraham.
You saw some arm strength there by Dracovic. Fired it right in there. Good job by Jaden Williams coming back to football, because that had a chance to be intercepted. And really good play by Abraham. Anytime you get a speedy wide receiver, keeping him in front of you is important.
Flowers in motion. Dracovic to throw. Looking to get it to his back. Xavier Coleman. Nothing doing there. Keontae Hamilton applying the pressure. Now we got 3rd and long.
Yeah, good pressure. This is a short pass. It's a quick 3-step pass, but just much too much penetration. You see right there, good job of using his hands like Keontae Hamilton. But Jack Conley, you got to get a better block on there, protect your quarterback in the 3-step game. Now 3rd down and 10, right on the edge of that field goal range, so a few yards will be beneficial, but they don't want to settle for field goals here.
Alex Sinkfield in the game now, tailback for BC. Good 3rd down back, can catch the ball out of the backfield, stays in the block. Now he comes out into the flat. Dracovic trying to go downfield, though. There's Zay at the 10. Inside the 5, he'll score once again.
Well, the offensive line held up on that one, gave plenty of time. Dracovic found his man, Zay Flowers. Hit him in stride, streaked into the end zone. That's a bad man right there.
Litton on for the try to extend BC's lead to 8 points. And he does just that. When that young offensive line gives Dracovic time to throw, I got a feeling he's going to find 4 downfield.
Time on the field.
2 touchdowns on the day for Zay Flowers. All Eagles in the first half. 15 seconds off the clock. Zay Flowers on that drive alone. Courtesy had 2 catches of 57 yards and the other score, by the way, of his day. He's had 2 so far today. Dracovic having a nice day so far as well. And BC extends their lead. Youngblood back to receive this kick. He's going to have a chance at the 6. Tries to get outside and does initially. Lowers his shoulder, gets up to about the 33. Mark, what'd you see on this touchdown catch?
Yeah, first of all, the offensive line did a phenomenal job. We talk about their youth, but look at that pocket that Phil Dracovic has to throw out. There's not a guy within 5 yards. And then Jalen Gill, right along the hash at the top of your screen, does a good job of clearing out the middle read runner, and just wide open for Zay Flowers. And with that speed, it just looks easy. When there's time for Phil and Zay to make connections like that, this offense could be one of the best in the ACC, but it all comes down to that offensive line and how well they can protect.
Shano going with Simon at quarterback to start this drive. Nothing doing from Monongai. Still nothing doing. BC defense gang tackling at the line of scrimmage.
Talked to Tim Lukaboo just about the effect that guys like Zay Flowers, guys like Phil Dracovic, guys like Pat Garwo have on their defense. And he said, look, these guys are dogs out there playing offense. Like, these guys could fit in well in our tough guy defensive room. So when you see Zay make plays like this, it sparks the defense, gets them going, because they want to get the ball back in their hands, score more points.
Simon looking to the sideline, changing plays. Look at Tem over here at the 50, waving his arms up. Defensive coordinator for Boston College. He sees something. Now Simon over the middle. That's wide open to Langan, the tight end. Inside of BC territory, absorbs the hit down to the 45.
Yeah, and that adjustment, obviously Jaden Woodby going across the screen, it just left a wide open player in the middle of the field, and lack of communication. That's one where, as a coach on the sideline, you want to get the guys in the right position and just want to make sure you get it done without confusing them. Good pitch and catch by Rutgers, and you're going to see a lot more at number 21 for Rutgers making plays.
He's making plays all over, multiple positions, lining up in a lot of different spots. Fresh set of downs for the Scarlet Knights inside BC territory. Simon to throw once again. Now the pressure comes through, throws it behind his intended receiver, Shameen Jones.
Good pressure by Marcus Valdez, defensive end for Boston College. Rutgers going fast. Showing single high.
Pressure picked up. Nice job that time by Simon getting it out to his receiver. Crookshank makes the catch. Shy of the first down, but puts him in position to get this third down.
Yeah, BC sent all their linebackers. I mean, it was just a let's sell out blitz, force us to come out fast. Now 3rd down and 5. Rutgers going to huddle up and make sure they get the right game plan. And with that pressure on 2nd down from Boston College, let's see if they turn it up again and force the ball to come out of Evan Simon's hands quickly.
Rutgers just 1 for 5 on 3rd down so far this afternoon. Langan in motion. Simon looking his way. Now comes back this way. Monangai out of the backfield, can't get anywhere. Lost his footing, and by that time the pursuit was there, led by Jaden Woodby.
Good adjustment by Boston College. They saw the tight condensed formation, changed to cover 3, a zone drop, and watch Woodby's eyes. Quarterback comes back to him, good break, keeping the ball inside, good form tackle. And Boston College defense gets off the field.
Zay standing with his heels on his own 10. Corsack trying to pin him deep.
Boston College keeping their defense on the field in case of a fake.
Corsack is going to do this once again if he gets help from his teammates, and he will inside the 10. They'll mark it at about the 8-yard line.
Time on the field.
14-6 our score. BC one final shot with about 2:15 left to go to put more points on the board when we come back.
Coach Hafley talked that they wanted to get the ball to Zay more early in the season. So far, 18 attempts by Phil Dracovic, 8 have gone to Zay Flowers. He has 6 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he has used his speed and his agility and his toughness. And when Zay gets going, this offense is scary.
Dracovic looking to throw. Takis over his head, incomplete. Well, he's looking Takis' way a lot, too.
Yeah, he has. And, Phil Dracovic, when you talk about making completions, there's a difference between a completion and then the right completion. Phil Dracovic has made the right completion to Zay Flowers. Of those 96 yards of Zay's receiving, 40 of them have come after the catch. So that means Phil's hitting them in stride and able to use that to make his momentum keep going forward and making guys miss. They have been on target so far in this game.
Takis, the new tight end, has 3 catches on 5 targets in this first half. You can see him in the slot near side with Gill in motion, now on the inside. Takis now to the top. Nowhere to go. Garwo stopped for a loss. Keontae Hamilton in there now. Of course, Rutgers is going to call a timeout, 3rd and long from the 4.
Yeah, and this is the issue. A young offensive line. I mean, it's just a misassignment. You get a couple guys slanting down on the defensive line. All the linemen are looking up to their second level blocks and no communication on who's got the slanting defensive lineman. We talked to Hafley, he said, look, we could come out here and there could be a couple plays where we call something and guys are going in the wrong direction. I mean, it's a possibility because they don't have those live reps. And then you could also get plays like that last touchdown pass where they're just solid in their protection. So there's a young group, there's a lot of potential.
Coming up at the Auto Owners halftime report, got a first half recap of our game. Battle in Boone, North Carolina going to Boone to take App State. It's like a dream come true for the folks in Boone if they could only spring the upset. So we'll talk about that one. And the Wolfpack are on the road at ECU as well. How about these ACC teams going on the road? Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium there to take on the Pirates. The Pirates are like, this is a chance of a lifetime as well. At home, knock off NC State. It's supposed to be NC State's year. They're fired up about it. So JC and the crew in studio will talk about that going up at the half. From his own end zone, Dracovic just trying to force it and completes it. No, out of bounds.
He caught that ball just out of bounds. Wow.
On a pass that was forced, and Robert Langerbeam actually had pretty good coverage. Just great hands to bring it in, just couldn't bring it in inbounds.
Yeah, great coverage. Let's check the protection. Get a little pushback, guys in his face, but I mean, Zay just went up there, grabbed that football. Good coverage, as you said. And see if Rutgers breaks people. They're loading the line of scrimmage. See if they try to block this punt.
Longman from his own end zone.
Nice punt.
Nice kick, spiraling high and driving Cruikshank to midfield. That's where it goes out of bounds. So no opportunity for a return. Yeah, Longman pumping the fist. Not only a deep kick, got it out of his own end zone, and he prevented number 1 from getting anything to do with it.
Yep, that's the exact right punt for that situation. Good job, Danny.
Now back to this Rutgers offense. At times, they've been able to move the football. They just haven't been able to finish drives. I think in a lot of cases, Mark, when I think about it, penalties have really hurt them in key times and moved them back where they've stymied their momentum.
Yeah, and I think it's been a mix, right? There's been a mix of big plays, getting the ball in Cruikshank's hands, letting him make some guys miss, then a couple good runs, some good push by the offensive lineman. But same thing. There'll be a play or two where maybe an offensive lineman has the wrong guy, wrong block, and there's a TFL or a penalty that backs him up.
So Wimsett now back at the quarterback spot. He'll look to throw. No, tuck it. Can't get far. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Ezeraku was right there. One timeout on the board for the Scarlet Knights. Wimsett will throw pressure off the edge. They got him. Jabuzi Onwuka was finally there to bring him down, but that was pressure from all different directions, Mark.
The booze is back in Alumni Stadium. We're not talking about beverage, we're talking about the player. Jabuzi Onwuka, back from injury, missed all last year. Comes up with that sack, forcing a 3rd and very long. And you're gonna see that out of Tem Lukaboo, Jeff Hafley. Sometimes in those second passing downs, bring the pressure. Now they could sit back and play coverage.
3rd sack of the day for BC, and they do. They bring just 3, so Wimsett has all kinds of time. Over the middle to Lang and deep. Intercepted. Picked off by Jones. Now he's got a blocker in front of him. He gets to midfield, out of bounds inside the 45. And a late flag to boot. BC will have 34 seconds left in the half and in great position.
Good coverage on the play by Jason Maitre and Elijah Jones, understanding the route combination to the short side of the field. You see Gavin Wimsett, look at 21, he's wide open. However, he doesn't see the fact that the corner is sinking deep because there's no threat in the flat. That is very good job understanding the route combination and where your help is going to come from by both Maitre and Elijah Jones. Then you see this late hit, low, by Gavin Wimsett. And that's going to be a development process for Wimsett. You gotta not only trust your eyes, but trust your study and understand your own offensive play, and that could be a threat. But huge turnover and huge flipping of the field position. Remember that punt from Danny Langman, he, was out of his own end zone, and now Boston College takes over with the ball at the 31-yard line, trying to get a score before half.
Got 2 timeouts too, so you really got plenty of time here to do whatever you want to do.
Don't be surprised if you don't see a shot right here on first down to the end zone.
Sinkfield in the backfield with Dracovic. Here's Gill in motion. Dracovic looking to Zay. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Stiff arms a defender, picks up about 3. Not the best play with 34 seconds left to go in the half. Now 25, they'll have to use one of those timeouts.
Yeah, they were looking for that deep shot.
Don't you just throw that out of bounds? I guess Dracovic thinks he can make more than just 3 yards on that play.
Yeah,
he thinks he can get at least out of bounds.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, right, like what's going through Dracovic's head in that moment, right? You missed so much time last year with the broken hand. The coaches have been harping on him all year. Let's slide. Let's get out of bounds. And
he's like, I'm going to make 20 yards on this
And
run.
now he's running the ball. He's like, oh, what do I do? Do I stiff arm? Do I go down? Do I throw it away?
Hey, coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew back to wrap up the afternoon games with highlights, breakdowns, and interviews with players and coaches, including a preview of the Louisville-Syracuse game at 8 o'clock. Then after that game, they'll be right back to wrap up the entire day in college football in the ACC Network right here on the ACC Network and also streaming on the ESPN app. Dracovic has time to Garwo. Brought down beautifully. That's Sinkfield rather, but brought down beautifully that time defensively by Rutgers, and Christian Braswell has made a couple of big plays here in the first half.
Boston College, 30-second timeout.
Timeout has to be called.
Game clock operator, please hit the game clock to 19 seconds, 1-9.
You got to get ready if you're the Boston College field goal team to get on the field quickly, because there's still time for another play. But if that ball is caught in the middle of the field and not for a first down, or if it's run or sack, it's going to be what we used to call a white field goal. White, get on the field right away. Try to get lined up, ball snapped, and kick it off.
It being third down here, if you don't pick up the first down mark, to your point, you can't spike it. So Rutgers brings pressure. Dracovic overthrows Takis. Boy, if you could have gotten it to him, that'd have been a huge play, but the pressure was there up the middle. Tareem Powell and almost all of his teammates, Renee Conga, everybody in there.
Yeah, and sent all-out pressure. See number 4 and 22 on a little cross stunt towards the middle of the field, and because it was incomplete, got time to get your field goal team on.
A 44-yard kick. Connor Litton's going to put a toe into it. And no good. The interception, the long return, ends up not costing Rutgers anything, and Coach Schiano is fired up about it. His team down just 14-6.
Yeah, Coach Harris-Simiak, the new defensive coordinator for Rutgers, he was fired up too. Yeah, it's a big stop. In this game, you go from making it a 1-score game to a 2-score game with that field goal, and especially off a turnover, right? That's every time your offense turns the ball over, the defense, when they can hold for 0 points, that's a huge win for that Rutgers defense. And now you got to imagine you're going to just see a couple, just one kneel down going to half.
That's exactly what we see from Evan Simon. And that'll wrap things up here for the first half in Chestnut Hill. Coach Schiano has to be pleased with his defense to this point. This is an offense led by that man right there in Phil Dracovic, who can put some points on the board. We've seen how dynamic that Zay Flowers is in the open field. We've seen Garwo being able to run the football and only 14 points on the board at the half. He has to feel pretty good about his chances the way his team's defense played in that first half. Yeah,
you cut out some of those penalties. You're down in the red zone. They came away with 3 on that first red zone drive, and they don't miss the field goal. It's a 13-14 type game. So, yeah, there's a lot to be excited about for Rutgers. There's also a lot to be excited about for Boston College, and they can shore up that offensive line and protect Phil. They got a lot flowing on offense.
Let's send it down to Larisha on the field.
See from Phil Dracovic.
Just to settle in a little bit. The guy's open, as you can see. He's doing a job, though. He's throwing 2 touchdown passes. He's making plays with his feet. It's kind of like I told you last night. There's a lot of guys that are anxious playing for the first time. I just want to see him settle in and execute at a higher level.
What impressed you the most with your defensive play this first half?
Just them being resilient. You can see they're anxious. They're getting a little tired there. The emotion, just their fight. They crossed the 50 a few times, and we kept them out of field goal range. I think they're doing a pretty good job. We just got to tighten some things up.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach. Larisha, our halftime score 14-6. PC on top. Crew in studio going to take it away.
Welcome to Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
BC leads this one 14-6 over Rutgers. Coach, as we get ready for the second half, just a few minutes away, what adjustments do you want to see in the second half from the Eagles?
Well, I think the Eagles' offensive line has got to be more physical in the run game. They're averaging less than 3 yards a carry. You got a back like Garwo. I mean, let's get him humming, which will obviously help your play action pass. But I think a couple times they protected extremely well, but they got to get more physical in the run game.
Defensively, I think you add more pressure on the quarterbacks of Rutgers. They're playing 3 different guys. No one's necessarily gotten into a rhythm. You already saw the quarterback throw a late interception right there. So keep providing that pressure and get the ball out.
Coach, I'm with you. I want to see that physicality. I want to see guys making less mistakes. There's been some MAs, some missed targets, which what does that equal? Tackles for loss, for a sack. And that really hurts your average there. Want to see that in the run game. Get that going. Get Patrick Garwo III the ball and really establish that dominance. That's what BC is, ground and pound, and then let's get that passing game going.
Initial impression of Boston College's defense in this one so far, EJ?
They've been making plays. Whenever you have a late interception like that, Jones made that, and then the big return, giving this offense an opportunity to make the points. That's the offense's job to go ahead and capitalize on that, but the defense is doing a good job thus far.
Love that what we've seen from the defensive backfield. Like that's going to be the standard, but also up front. I mean, those guys are getting pushed. That was my biggest thing for that defense. I know what's in the back seven. What can you do up front? Those guys have gotten after the quarterback, a couple of sacks, nice tackles for loss, and Coach, just overall seeing that physicality and seeing some playmakers emerge on that defensive line.
Yeah, I agree. I think that BC has done a nice job to this point. On defense, they got to keep that up, and I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's close one right now, 14-6. We'll take you back out there in just a second. But a reminder, make sure you lock in with the Huddle crew. We got you covered leading up to pregame for our primetime matchup, Louisville and Syracuse. We get you rocking at 6:30. And then, of course, to wrap all the week one coverage, we got your postgame hour-long show. It's Huddle. Make sure you check us out. It's also Zay Flowers. Saturday, it's Zay Day. 2 touchdown catches in that first half. What's he have in store for the second? Stay tuned. We'll see you postgame.
You're watching ACC Network Football presented by Subway. Halftime here at Chestnut Hill. Getting set to kick off in the third quarter. Great day. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful day for football. And it's beautiful so far for the Eagles. They've got a 14-6 lead over Rutgers, although Rutgers is playing tough and keeping it tight. Chris Cotter and Mark Herzlich with you. And really, it's been the story that we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the game. Phil Dracovic to Zay Flowers and that offensive line. If they protect, he's got time and he can make him pay.
Yeah, when you look at that offensive line, when there is time, they've been able to connect. Watch here. Look at this pocket that Phil has to throw out of. That was the first touchdown pass that Zay caught. This is the second. Look how much time there is for the routes to develop downfield. And McNulty's offense, that's going to be clutch. Now, this is the bad, right? In the run game, there have been too many times where they've been missed assignments, and that run game has not got going at all. So when you look at how BC needs to continue going, get Phil and Zay going by protecting them, and then Rutgers up front, keep switching up the defensive front, slant, make plays in the backfield, and you have a good ball game going on right now.
Saw your Subway game refresh. What we didn't have on there were 2 key stats, I think, to your point, Mark, about the running game has not been able to get going for Boston College, and penalties. Rutgers, 8 penalties for 62 yards. Boston College, just 1 penalty in that first half. That's a key stat. That has bogged down Rutgers anytime they've had something going. Jude McAtamey puts a foot into it. Jaden Williams will have a chance to return the opening kickoff here in the second half. Gets just outside the 20. And we will see BC take over. Larisha's standing by in the field. Larisha?
I spoke with head coach Greg Schiano just about the quarterback situation he had going on, and he said they're going to continue to mix things up. We saw Evan Simon and Gavin Wimsatt both get in the game, and he said we should expect to see more, and even some other guys may step back there as well. As it pertains to the penalties, he said it's just first game jitters, and also with those missed opportunities. He said, hey, we missed them. We cannot dwell on it. We just have to find more in this second half.
Yeah, thanks, Larisha. And certainly they can take some comfort. And I know they're taking some momentum out of that defensive stand at the end of the first half. Dracovic, the fake to Garwo. He'll throw on first down, and he'll throw deep. Has a man out there, just overthrows Jaden Williams, and that's one of his fastest receivers. Might be his fastest receiver, so if Williams can't run under it, nobody will.
Yeah, good pressure by Rutgers. Again, testing this offensive line. This time it was on the back. Garwo. Ooh, good hit. Man, just dropped him. That's Christian Eisen. Or Isian, sorry. And just out of the reach. There's been 2 so far. They've been just out of the reach of the wide receivers for Phil Dracovic.
So throwing on first down, now behind the chains a bit, 2nd and 10. Move Gill and Takis in motion. Fake to Garwo. Takis going to the other side of the field. He's open. He'll lower his shoulder, dropped out of bounds right about the 30 where the yard marker is. Got a flag down. It's in the secondary.
Ineligible downfield. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Shake of the head. Coach Hafley. Let's take a look at 67, Jack Conley.
Yeah, you see that right tackle getting downfield a little too far. He realized it and started backpedaling. It was a good play call by John McNulty, anticipating another pressure from Rutgers, a little screen pass to his tight end. But again, penalties back him up.
2nd and 15. Tanji Johnson in motion. Give to Garwo. Nowhere to go. Dropped in the backfield. Isian was there from his free safety spot, Mark, and it's just, you know, gangbusters on every running play into the backfield for this Rutgers defense.
Yeah, and that one was off the side, 84. You see the little inside move by Eisen. Taji Johnson unable to get inside on the block, but you know, if Eisen didn't make the play, there were a couple other white jerseys right around the football, and Boston College, yes, they want to pass it. Yes, they got a quarterback and wide receivers, but their bread and butter is still ground game. Now 3rd down and forever.
And they have 37 yards rushing on the day.
Yeah.
So 3rd and forever. Mark it off at about 20. Low snap, ball's free. Dracovic couldn't get on top of it. This is a huge moment early in the second half. If Rutgers can grab it, they've got it.
They say Rutgers got the ball.
They do.
Huge play for Schiano and this Rutgers defense.
Wesley Bailey came out of there with it.
Coach Harasimiak loaded up the front. 5 guys down right next to the ball, and low snap. Good job finding it by Rutgers defensive front, and that's what they needed. You mentioned penalties hurt them early in this game on offense, but defensive takeaway now puts them in position to capitalize in this red zone.
And the redshirt freshman Drew Kendall, another one of those young offensive linemen with the low snap, making his first start. Rutgers set up in the red zone. Can they take advantage? Up the middle, down to the 1, just losing his footing was Manangai. And Rutgers is going to want to move quickly here. Now Simon checks the sideline.
Good hole up front, good downhill run by Manangai.
Manangai in the backfield again. Simon will hand it to him. And he's in.
Got it. Nice conversion by Rutgers. Complimentary football. Mistake by Boston College, capitalized on this 1-yard run. Imanunga.
First two minutes of this second half couldn't have gone any better for Rutgers.
Yeah.
Forcing the turnover, you get the ball in your own red zone. 2 plays later, touchdown.
Yeah, now they're going to go for 2. Try to tie this one up.
Anangai again in the backfield with Simon. You've got Johnny Lang in there as an H-back, number 21. We've seen him all over the field today. Getting the play from the sideline. Now Langen comes and flanks Simon. Now back to the line of scrimmage in motion. Simon will look to throw, nobody open. Gets it to the end zone, it's incomplete. Tried to hit Cruikshank. Just falling off the back of his foot, and C.J. Burton was there in coverage.
And that score, it's just all the fumble. You know, again, we talked about the offensive line, inexperienced. You get a center in there who's trying to call out the protection, then a low snap, and then 2 plays later, touchdown, and Evan Simon leading that drive for Rutgers. And good job by Boston College defensively, holding on this 2-point conversion, maintaining the lead. But when you talk about momentum and momentum changes, you had a great stop at the end of the first half by Rutgers, led to another turnover from Boston College and capitalization, where now you're right there.
Yeah, if you think about not just the first 2 minutes of the second half, but the last 2 minutes of the first half, BC, interception deep in their own territory, returned all the way back past midfield. Then they had a scoring opportunity, couldn't convert on a field goal, so momentum for Rutgers. Now first 2 minutes of this half, converting a turnover into a score. We got a whole new ball game. Tamney to kick off. And this one is returnable. Williams. To the 35. That electrified the crowd here. Today's Aflac trivia question. I think this one's kind of tough. Boston College leads the ACC, 10 offensive linemen picked in the first round of the NFL draft in the common draft era. Who leads the nation?
Ooh.
You could probably narrow it down.
For offensive line picked in the first round. Okay. All right.
You know, there's 2 obvious ones. Notre Dame or Ohio State would be the 2 that I would pick. You could pick Michigan too. Kovic under center. Here's Flowers with room to run and blockers in front of him. Gets 9 yards. Christian Izzian makes the stop.
How can we get number 4 the football? Good return off the kickoff. Special teams complementing this, and see if Boston College can regain momentum.
And trying to establish a little bit of the run. Garwell was able to pick up the first down.
Back to that fast-paced offense that we saw early in the first half.
Flowers all the way at the top of your screen. Kovic gives it to Garwell. Nothing.
Just
nowhere to go.
nothing.
Look at that's a wall of white jerseys. Deion Jennings, just one of a number of them in on the play. Troy Rainey, you see.
And just unable to pass off blocks. You see Conley there, number 67. Saw the linebacker coming and was unable to get there in time. Again, it's going to come down to how well this offensive line plays throughout the season.
Now Alex Broom in at tailback. Fake the handoff to him. He gets a good block on the blitzer, and that enables Dracovic to find his receiver, Jalen Gill, downfield.
There you go. Protection held up. Great block by the true freshman, Alex Broom. He's only 5'8", 185, but it allows these deep pass plays and these deep routes to develop. Good block. Has some syrup with that pancake, young man.
Broom and Barfield, we've seen both of them freshmen. Xavier Coleman, redshirt freshman. Future of this Boston College running game in good hands with that crew. Dracovic, Takis. Got to beat a tackler and can't do it. That's a nice job of tackling by Hassan Abraham coming up from his cornerback spot. Let's answer the Aflac trivia question. USC.
USC, all right.
So that's going a little old school.
Notre Dame, 11.
Yeah, you think of the Montoyas of the world.
Yep.
So many really good linemen.
See Iowa up there. You knew Iowa always puts out good,
always
good
puts up
linemen.
linemen. Offensive linemen and linebackers, I feel like, from Iowa. Good defense this year, by the way, Iowa.
Yep.
Dracovic to throw on second down. Has all kinds of time and has Takis open. Inside the 25, knocked down to the 22 by Izzy, and that's a first down. This looks like a tight end like they've had over the last 5 or 6 or 10 years here.
Yeah, you know, tall, long. You think about Hunter Long and all the receptions that he got in Phil Dracovic's first year at the Heights, and Takis a little shaken up after that hit. But Takis is the type of guy where, he can be that same type of big target over the middle, and you said Takis might be even faster than Hunter Long.
Right, that's the thing they all said when we talked to the coaches. Fast, he can run. A little banged up, 5 catches, 61 yards for Takis on the day. Dracovic will throw. Here comes the pressure. One pump fake. Now he's in trouble. He's going to go down. Powell with the sack. Powell's having a huge game, number 22 out of that middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, him and Deion Jennings, both linebackers for Rutgers. Again, inexperienced, don't have a lot of game reps, but both playing really well. See the pressure off the bottom of the screen. Just push the running back, forcing Phil Dracovic to step up, and good job of the rest of the guys getting there. Now playing behind the chains on second down.
Broom stays in the block over the middle. Zay makes one man miss to the 15, trying to make others. They'll finally bring him down at the 11.
And if this offensive line is going to have a tough time blocking, especially in the run game, that's going to be what Boston College's run is. They're going to start throwing those little dinks to the flat to Takis, throw crossing routes to Zay Flowers.
Now Broom is in the pattern. He's got the, I thought he was going to catch it, but that was a tough pass to Corral. Had to go behind him to try and bring it in and couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you tell the running back, okay, just settle down. You don't need to keep running towards a defender if you're wide open in the flat. And a couple good blocks from Alex Broom, and
he might have scored if he could have caught that ball too. He's inside the 5.
And Boston College bringing in some of their bigger wide receivers. You see George Takis checking back in the game, and Tajee Johnson, one of the bigger 6'3", 220-pound wide receivers who acts kind of like a tight end.
Another tight end too, and Jeremiah Franklin in the game.
Yeah, there you go. Big 13 personnel set.
Pressure coming. Dracovic just has to get rid of it. That's a dangerous pass in the middle of the field as he got leveled. Flag down on the far side. Aaron Lewis just hammered Dracovic.
Yeah, that was way too fast. Good pressure by Rutgers. I want to make sure I give them the credit that they deserve. They've been putting pressure and making it difficult for this young offensive line for Boston College.
That was like the whole left side of the Rutgers defensive front. Unabated.
Looked like a screenplay, but it wasn't a screen pass.
Ineligible downfield, number 8 of the offense. Penalty decline, third down.
It's one of the reasons why it looked like a screen pass. He had an ineligible receiver downfield, so we're moving back, or we're not. So Schiano decides not to take the penalty. He'd rather have third down and 10 from the 11 than move him back 5 yards. So 11th play of this drive now for Boston College. And they're going to have to convert on third down here if they want to get into the end zone. Tries to get into the end zone and does. Jaden Williams brings it in.
They set up the ISO for number 0, Jaden Williams, one-on-one on the backside. Good back shoulder throw by Phil Dracovic, and great job of going up and making the ball his by Jaden Williams. What a way to answer by Boston College's offense after giving the ball away on the last series, leading to a touchdown, driving all the way downfield. Started with a good kickoff return, then a couple good plays by Zay Flowers, and they finished it off with Jaden Williams for the score.
Litton buries the PAT. Lead back up to 9 for Boston College.
Timeout of the field.
Third touchdown strike of the day from Dracovic, this time to Williams. All Eagles. That latest Phil Dracovic touchdown pass on that last BC drive, 21-12 our score. Dracovic 5 of 7 for 56 yards and the touchdown strike on that last drive. So a good answer after the tragic fumble inside their own 5-yard line on their last offensive possession that led to a Rutgers touchdown. BC takes it the length of the field. Now Rutgers trots out Cruikshank, dangerous return man, one of the best in the country, to see if he can do anything here from his own goal line. See what he's got. He's got blockers in front of him. Spins his way down to about the 28, but of course we've got some laundry out there, and I'm feeling this one might be brought back a ways. Got a Rutgers player down.
During the return holding, return team number 89, 10-yard penalty, first down. Time on the feet.
Here's the hold on Cruikshank. 89 there on the left. We'll check on the Rutgers injury when we come back. On top, the injured Rutgers player Deion Jennings walked off under his own power. That's good to see, and really good for Coach Schiano and company, because he's had a pretty darn good game from that linebacker spot, playing not only on defense but on special teams. Hopefully he'll be back. Gavin Wimsett now back at quarterback for Rutgers, as they'll start because of the penalty from their own 13. Gives it to Saddam. Tries to bounce it outside, but picked up only a couple. Vinny DePalma on the stop. Old man Vinny. Talked to him yesterday. Comes into the meeting full beard. Been around for a while. Graduate student.
He's a Jersey guy. He's got to love playing Rutgers. I'm sure a lot of friends been there over the years.
Forgot to ask him whether he had a shot to play for Rutgers. I imagine they recruited him. Coming out of Wayne, New Jersey. Wimsett to throw. It's a tight end over the middle. Beautiful pattern. Victor Konopka absorbed a big hit. Was able to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, and right over the head of Vinny DePalma. Good job. Watch 42. Throws a little bit right there on the run fake. And a good job placing the football on the hash.
Patry's been laying the lumber on some folks there.
He'll hit you. He'll hit you.
Konopka says, I got it. Fresh set of downs for the Scarlet Knights. Cruikshank in motion. Give to Salam. Palma hits him in the hole. Salam falls forward for 2.
And Salam adds that little bit different pace back. The Kyle Manung guy, we've seen him a bunch. The kind of downhill runner in between the tackles. Salam's got a little more of that burst, that speed that can get to the outside. And we mentioned Aaron Young not playing today, but another running back who got a lot of time last year, along with Isaiah Pacheco.
Give to Cruikshank, fumbles the football. Recovered by Rutgers, but a big loss on the play.
Big play by Donovan Ezaraku, defensive end. Good job of getting upfield. He knows he had defender Josh DeBerry inside of him who's going to take away the quarterback. Good fundamental football. That brings up again, we've had a lot of these third down and long type sets, and a lot of them have been where can we get the ball in the hands of playmakers early. There's Crookshanks out of the backfield.
Could be a double pass here. No, Crookshanks going to try and make something happen in space, and he will at the 40-yard line. That's going to be shy of the first down, but just by a couple yards. Ezaraku coming from his defensive end spot to make the tackle, but that's exactly what Rutgers has got to do. You just got to get it to one and let him make something happen. He just came a couple of yards shy.
Yeah, and that's what they have been doing. Let's get some blockers out in front of him. Let's get Ryan Crookshank up in the backfield, kind of identify how Boston College is going to play that defensively, and you get Crookshank eventually one-on-one with the defensive end. Really good job by Donovan Ezaraku chasing him down.
Rutgers has got to get at least one player back onto the field. They're a complete mess. And luckily, Boston College was also, so Coach Hafley having to call a timeout. This is definitely game one stuff, isn't it?
Timeout.
Special teams trying to figure out who belongs on the field, who should be on the field.
30-second timeout.
Both teams struggling on that play.
Yeah, and I think you see that regardless of whether they're young teams. Both these are young teams, new guys coming in through the transfer portal for Rutgers, so not a lot of continuity in terms of playing together. You'll get these types of penalties, but we saw some of that a little bit even with a vet team in Wake Forest the other night.
Rest of our triple header coming up this afternoon. Bethune-Cookman at Miami. Mario Cristobal's debut for the Canes. Bethune-Cookman, that's Larisha Harris's alma mater. She'll be eyes glued to that screen after our game, plus Louisville and Syracuse tonight, our ACC primetime game, 8 o'clock. On the ACC network and streaming live on the ESPN app. All right, did we get it all sorted out here? 11 per side. Looks like we did. We're ready to go. Corsack, end over end. Zay going to have a chance to return it, but he opts for a fair catch. He'll bring it in at the 12-yard line. BC with the football and the lead when we come back. Chris Cotter, Larisha Harris back with you, knowing what you know about me, which is a lot. You're a living legend here in Boston. Why haven't you ever taken me to Mike's Pastries?
Well, it has nothing to do with Mike's Pastries. Mike's Pastries, they're the best cannolis around. I'm not a huge cannoli guy, but I hear they're fantastic. And we actually went there on a recruiting visit, I remember, and it was delicious. But it's a lot of sugar in a wrap that.
Yeah, a lot of fat, a lot of sugar.
Yep,
I'm all about that.
Well, you know a lot about me after these many years. Now you know why.
Now I know why you wouldn't have taken me there, but why I begged to go there next trip. I'm guessing Zay doesn't go there very often. He's lean and fast, and we've seen that on full display today. With their run game almost non-existent this game, they just got to get number 4 the football at every opportunity.
Yeah, they've done that. I mean, they're going to him a lot.
Eight catches, 116 yards, couple of touchdowns for Zay, all in a day's work, and he ain't done yet. Kovic looked like he wanted to go to Zay on the near side, and Zay wasn't looking for it. Now we get a flag. There was some confusion all around on that play.
There's flags all over the place.
You see a little frustration from Jakovic.
Ineligible downfield. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty. Go down.
Why so many of these penalties today against Boston College?
I mean, it's because the offensive line are new, right? I mean, they're a bunch of young guys. They're running this play, pulling guard, popping around. You have number 53 in there. Okay, kind of a backup guy. He's playing Dwayne Alec. Right. Again, he's a redshirt sophomore, but these guys haven't played together really at all. And he was not the starting right guard, so Jack Conley, who was in, is now replaced by Dwayne Alec.
It's his tight end, Takis. Flipped out of bounds, so it'll be third down. Larisha?
Well, guys, here on the sideline, I saw Christian Mahogany, who was a lone returner from that offensive line last year. He was talking to these young guys and saying, hey, just relax, be calm, be patient. Let's play sound mechanical football. Remember your stance, remember your hands. Let the game come to you. Relax, it's going to be okay.
Look at Mahogany on the sideline, lost for the year with an ACL injury. He was the lone returning starter from that vaunted offensive line last year, and a bright future, still has it. Now they bring the pressure from Rutgers. Jurkovec gets hit as he throws. Dangerous up in the air, but it falls incomplete.
And, Shiano knows what's going on, right? Harris-Simiak knows what's going on. Let's bring pressure. Let's force this offensive line to block it up because there's not enough time. I mean, look at the amount of guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost 7 guys coming on the pressure, and it's just not enough time for anything to develop. And the worry is keeping Phil healthy because hurt last year. You got to keep him healthy for the season.
Longman, good kick here. Cruikshank's going to be forced to take a fair catch at his 43. He does. Rutgers back on offense now. Can they get something going? We saw him take advantage early in the first half of the fumble in the red zone. But their defense is giving them opportunity after opportunity.
Shiano's a defensive guy, and he's got to be excited about how well the defense has responded, especially late in the first half, early in this second half. And Harris-Simiak, who was head coach at Maine, and then Minnesota came here, defensive coordinator, defense playing well.
Can the offense match it? Simon back into quarterback. He'll look to throw. Quick slant. Bobbled at first. Was the receiver able to come in with it? He did.
Good concentration. That was Taj Harris.
Yeah, first time we've mentioned Taj Harris, the transfer out of Syracuse.
See this football. He has it, bobbles it. See, does he get back under? I think he does. Really good focus by Taj Harris amongst all that traffic. Coming up with that reception.
2nd down and 1. There's Taj Harris. ACC fans used to seeing him in orange and blue. False start.
False start. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. Please reset the game clock.
10 penalties against Rutgers today.
Correction, the game clock is correct.
This offensive line for Rutgers, unlike Boston College, they've got experience, but it's experience at all different schools. They've all transferred in, so they've started games, but Tyler from University of Louisiana, Dunlap from Minnesota, Ciaffoni from Colorado State, Dorenzo from Sacred Heart.
Yeah, and that was last year, right? This is their first year on campus. Ireland Brown, who's their center, has been here for a few years, but started as a defensive lineman at Boston College, then transferred. So we're trying to put this together.
Simon, he can run if he can get free, and he does. Inside of Boston College territory, takes a late hit. That's going to be 15 on top of it.
That's going to be on Josh DeBerry. And if that goes towards the head, that could be a targeting as well.
The idea here, Mark, isn't it that Simon gave himself up as a runner in the slide?
Yes. Following the play, personal foul, late hit. Defense number 21. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And once the quarterback goes for slide right there, and I think it's a good no call on the targeting because it wasn't forcible contact to the head. It was late. You can't touch the guy when he starts sliding. I like that call.
It's one of those tough break penalties, but you just can't hit him when he slides. So it's a penalty. As a coach, you can't really fault the guy because he didn't lead with his helmet. You can't stop his momentum when he's trying to make a tackle, but it's still 15 yards. Fresh set of downs. Simon's going to run it. That's Langen, rather, at the Wildcat. Gets drilled, but not before he picks up 9 more. See, they'll keep Simon in the game and move him out and bring Lang in at that tailback spot.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this offense. When you don't have a true number one QB, using different guys for different aspects as he tries to hurdle in the back end. Got caught up, and now see you line him at tight end.
Monongai's the tailback. He'll get the carry. Forced outside, and he still carries defenders forward for about 3 yards. Give him 2 yards, but that moves his sticks. That's a good, tough run by Monongai.
It is, because Bryce Steele was right there in the hole, fit up on the run perfectly. Just Monongai did a great job of keeping his feet moving forward and was able to fall forward for the first down. Good look at Bryce Steele there. True sophomore out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh,
just
kidding
phenomenal. Remember Steele DeVito was here for a while back in the day.
Another first down for Rutgers on this drive. Monongai. Difficult time taking the handoff, but again, showing that power down to the 14.
Yeah, carrying a defensive end on his back for another 1.5 yards.
A mark it at the 15. Another impressive drive for Rutgers offensively. They got to get points at the end of these drives, though. As you see the clock inside of a minute in this third quarter.
That's 121 yards on the ground so far for Rutgers, and that was something that Boston College knew they needed to work on. They were not good last year, not efficient stopping the run, giving up 170 yards a game.
Fake to Monongai, pressure on the outside, and they hammer Simon. Ball's loose. Haven't blown it dead yet. They're going to rule it on the field, a fumble. Recovered by Elijah Jones.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
And we're going to have to see that one again to see where that arm is going, because, I mean...
Josh DeBerry clobbered Simon from behind. I thought that arm might have been going forward. Shiano thinks the same thing.
It looked like it live, but we'll get a closer look at it.
Of a fumble recovered by the defense is under further video review.
Good double pressure off both ends. And let's see where the... Yeah, that ball's coming forward. I think they're going to look at that. They're going to give the ball back to Rutgers. Yeah, you see you always look for that empty hand. Is there an empty hand coming forward? But that ball is right in. There you go. Right there, right in the hand as the ball comes forward. I think they'll overturn that one, but good pressure, good timing on that pressure called by Tem Lukabu.
A replay official today, Thomas Kissinger, real statesman, looking over this replay.
I'll tell you what, Elijah Jones did a very good job of recovering that fumble, understanding the sidelines there. Like, you practice that in drills, but I don't think it's going to matter. That was 2nd and 6, so this becomes 3rd and 6. Now, again, you get another opportunity in the red zone. Try to capitalize, get more points, and you got to try to get that touchdown here. At least you want to get that touchdown. On 3rd and 7, 3rd and long, it's been, where's number 1, Aaron Crookshank, get him the football.
Take one more look at it. DeBerry coming off that edge and hammering Simon. And if anything, the momentum of that hit forcing Simon's body to contort.
After
move
review,
the ball forward.
The quarterback had possession of the ball and threw it forward. Is an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down.
I think you and I would agree that's the right call by this officiating crew and the replay crew here in the booth.
Yep. Good job by the officials.
That did not feel good.
Nope.
Simon's probably glad he's had a few minutes to shake that off.
Yeah, good job by DeBerry, too, of making sure he hit with the face mask of his helmet, not lowering that head and having it be a targeting call. But, you know, it brings up 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down.
Rutgers just 1 of 8 on 3rd down in this game.
The crowd's getting loud here in Alumni Stadium.
Problems with substitution for Rutgers. Look at the Still plenty of time on the play clock, so they get it down. Josh Youngblood was late coming on, but now he's ready to go. Simon to throw, going to the end zone. What a great catch. Was he in? No, out of bounds. Sean Ryan made a nice catch, but Amari Jackson with beautiful coverage in the corner.
Yeah, true freshman Amari Jackson. And good job by Rutgers, understanding, look, there's a true freshman on the field at cornerback. Let's take a shot at him, but great job by Amari Jackson. Four-star true freshman out of Georgia. He got a little push and shove on there. You want to see him turn his head around, but the result of the play was in his favor.
Brings up Jude McTamney to kick the field goal for Rutgers. 33-yard attempt. Just gets it inside that upright. And the Scarlet Knights here in the final seconds of the third quarter scratch and claw their way a little closer. Rutgers team, Coach Schiano, they got a lot of fight in them. On the road, opening up the season, keeping it close with BC as we head to the fourth quarter. And with Boston College, their inability to run the football here going to the fourth quarter, I'm sure Coach Hafley would love to be able to just sit on it and churn it out 4 yards in a cloud of dust at a time, but they're going to have to rely on Jacobic's arm.
Yeah, they're going to have to rely on Jacobic throwing the football, and whether it's short throws to Zay, deep throws to Zay, Jaden Williams, another speedster, you want to get the ball in these guys' hands early, especially if the O-line is having trouble blocking. Identify where Rutgers' pass rush is coming from. Are they bringing pressure? And try to replace the pressure with the football. We talk about it all the time, telling quarterbacks, okay, how can you beat that pressure? Well, identify it early and get the ball to the receiver where that pressure is coming from. You see right there, career 300-yard passing games. Just look at the games played. He's got 6 300-yard games in 16 games played. Today he has 232, well on his way to getting another one.
Williams to receive this kick. McTamney puts a toe into it. Williams from the 4. Brought down at the 26. And we'll see Jacobic and company after a 22-yard return with the final 6 seconds of this third quarter. Talking to Hafley too, he said young offensive line, a lot of young players playing in the 2 deep. Boy, we'd love to start with Maine. You don't get to start with Maine this year. You got Maine in the third game.
Yep.
You get a Big Ten team to open up with, and then you go on the road at Virginia Tech to start the ACC schedule next week.
Yeah, Virginia Tech had a heartbreaker to Old Dominion.
Jacobic to throw. Tight end. Man, I tell you what, Takis is just such an addition to this team.
Yeah, just a great route, great catch, great completion. Bill Jacobic, George Takis brings us to the fourth quarter. We come back. Has been playing really well, and they played pretty much this whole game in Boston College backfield. You see 6 hurries, 6 TFLs, 2 sacks, and only 36 yards rushing for Boston College. Defensive coordinator Harris Simiak is going to be excited about that play of that defensive front.
Jacobic going deep. Receiver fell down.
Jacobic crushed.
He got lit up, and then they threw a flag down here with
Jacobic's
Zay.
hurt.
I thought Zay may have just fallen down on his own. Jacobic is getting up, but whew.
Oh my goodness.
He's taking a lot of shots today.
Yeah, let's take another look at that.
Yeah, they picked up the flag. Hafley can't believe it.
We just finished talking about the pressure. I mean, look at this hit. Oh goodness.
That was Keontae Hamilton. He's got a couple of big shots in the backfield today on both Jacobic and ball carriers.
Man, and landing right on the shoulder of Jacobic.
He's coming out for a play.
So Emmett Moorhead Surfer back up he's got a phenomenal arm.
Out of Woodside, California. Redshirt freshman, now taking the snap. Oh, hits Williams when he's in motion. And luckily, Moorhead is able to fall on it. And that'll be the only snap Moorhead takes. Doesn't even get the snap.
No. And this is maybe doing a little bit too much with a backup quarterback in there and a first-time starting offensive center.
One-score game.
And that's huge. I mean, now you go from 2nd and 10 to now 3rd and 10 with a sore starting quarterback.
Pressure again up the middle. Screen set up for Garwo. Got a block in front and downfield. Inside the 35, first down for Rutgers, for Boston College rather. Izzian on the stop.
And John McNulty said, look, I'm tired of this. All right, how do you beat good pressure up front? You throw a screen pass, and the offensive line not doing a great job of blocking guys in the box, but they're out front blocking guys in the open field, okay. Good effort by Pat Garwo to get this offense back on track.
Now Zay in motion. Give to Garwo. Track down from behind. Maybe picks up a yard. Desmond Igbenogson on the stop.
Yeah, just see really good speed right now out of Rutgers defense. Good job moving laterally. The big guys on the defensive front are doing a good job of penetrating. There's a lot to be happy about by Harris Simiak. You can see a good shot of him right there with a fantastic beard.
Oh, intercepted. Longer beam read it all the way and picked it off. Second interception on the day thrown by Dracovic.
Giano's pumped up. What a good anticipation
Time
on that
the
route
field.
by Longer beam.
Come here.
Here it is. He sees his guy, went to the well one too many times, looked for number 4. Number 7 came away with it. Rutgers ball when we come back.
For Dracovic, he's looked good at times, but also 2 interceptions, and he's been under pressure constantly all day, Mark.
Yeah, and the interceptions thrown all, but it's the health of Phil Dracovic that's the real worry for Boston College right now. That many hits, that many times being landed on top of. I mean, he's a durable quarterback, but this defensive front and linebacking crew for Rutgers have been phenomenal. And you see the frustration from Dracovic. This is not the type of start this season that he's won.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, too, doesn't he?
Sure does.
You'll see the elation, and we've seen it today when in his 3 touchdown passes, and you'll see the frustration as well. Now it falls on that defense, and a Rutgers offense that has a little bit of swagger back with them in the second half. You saw Wimsett with the run. Now Simon throwing the football out to his running back Salam. Doesn't get the first down, but he's close enough to open up the entire playbook here. It'd be 3rd down and 4.
Third down, Evan Simon's in the game. Number 21, Johnny do everything. Langen's in the game.
They've been terrible on 3rd down today.
That's
1 for
true.
9. I mean, they have not been able to stay on the field, and credit to Boston College for getting off the field.
BC showing pressure again. There's 2 linebackers mugged up in the A-gaps.
Jones in motion. Simon to throw. BC brings 4, but they get pressure. The ball knocked away from Simon. Up in the air for grabs. DeBerry tries to pick it up, and it goes out of bounds. What a wild sequence. Donovan Ezeraku just clobbered Simon. BC was able to get pressure, bring in just 4, and that's a huge play.
Huge play. And it's like Cam Horsley, as he was trying to make that catch, I think Shabuzi on Wuka might have hit him, but
You're right. Making a catch is not something that Cam Horsley is used to doing.
No.
They're playing the field.
Good to see him walking off under his own power, Mark. Look at this pressure brought on Simon. As Araku knocks it straight up in the air, Rutgers going to have to punt when we come back.
Correction.
In BC with the ball and the lead, 11-12 left to go in this game. Unless Rutgers can put something together here in the fourth quarter and tie the game and take us to OT right now. It's a 21-15 lead for Boston College, and they get the ball back. You see what Flowers and Takis, who's the new tight end, the transfer from Notre Dame, have done. But Dracovic has really looked their way an awful lot today, and maybe not as much as he needs to somewhere else.
Well, I think part of it is that he's very uncomfortable in the pocket. So he drops back and says, okay, where's 4, right? Where's the big guy in the middle, number 80? So, yeah, I got to get my ball out of my hands fast. See him a little bit different formation right now.
Give the Flowers.
And it's anything to get the ball in 4's hands. Yeah, and they have very capable other guys, but it's just there's not time to find any of them. And they're going to do a good job of moving Flowers all around. He's going to play in the slot. He's going to play on the outside. He'll go in motion, take a handoff. But right now, when you're only having a second and a half to make a decision, it limits the amount of decisions you can make.
Now back in the gun, he's got Garwo in the backfield. Flowers. Takis with a block on the outside, but good pursuit by Rutgers, led by Christian Isian.
Yeah, and good job by Christian Isian. He's been tasked with covering Zay pretty much anywhere he goes on the field. When they're in when Rutgers is in man-to-man, it's okay, 0, find 4 and just follow him. And he's done a really good job. Obviously, Zay has had some big plays and some big catches, but making him work for those extra yards. 3rd and 1.
Drakovic's going to keep it himself. I think he got it, but not by much. Yep, they're going to move the chains. So under 10 to play, a fresh set of downs for the Eagles.
Rutgers will sub in a new defensive front, get some fresh guys up there, some new bodies, and we've seen a little everything from this Boston College offense. We've seen some really good, we've seen some really bad, we've seen some head scratchers, and you like the plays that have been called. Love that screen pass.
Garwo, stretch play here. Izzy, nice tackle. He's just all over the field.
He is. Really doing a good job at 75 tackles last year, 9 TFLs.
Senior from Far Rockaway, New York.
Yep. 2-time honorable mention, all Big Ten player, and he's having a phenomenal day.
8 tackles today. 2nd down and 10.
Attack is split out wide at the top of your screen. So if he motions back in, he does.
You got Flowers out there up top too. Dracovic to throw. Flowers underneath. Isian giving chase. Finally brings him down, but not until Flowers gets to midfield. The two of them share some pleasantries.
And number 4, he's getting a lot of work right now. And he should have the ball in his hands a lot, but he cannot be the entire offense for Boston College.
10th catch of the day for Zay. This is a big 3rd down.
Yeah. And Zay is not on the field.
3rd down and 3. Rutgers is going to bring pressure, but it's picked up and incomplete. Jaden Williams was the intended receiver. Max Melton on coverage. Dracovic with head and hands.
Yeah, and that was on Phil Dracovic. You need to be able to move your feet. Watch him back there. He has a little time. Move the feet a little bit over so you can get the ball out in front of your wide receiver. A lot of times the accuracy in your throw has to do with your foot placement and how you're able to move inside the pocket. Phil's tired. He's been banged up, a little lazy on his feet, led to an incomplete pass. And now, as you mentioned, that was a huge 3rd down. Good stop by Rutgers.
Longman to kick. Cruikshank is back. This is a good high kick, and it's rolling towards the goal line. Can Boston College keep it out? They can. Big-time special teams play. Ball dead at the 4-yard line. Rutgers, long way to go. They want to take the lead back in this game. Nice job. Deadens it inside the 5.
ACC Network College Football is presented by Subway. Try the all-new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs.
2022 opening up with a bang here in Chestnut Hill. First game of the year for both these clubs. And Phil Dracovic and Boston College, if they're going to come away with a win, it's going to be hard fought, but they're in a good spot here with Rutgers in a bad spot, their own 4-yard line. Gavin Wimsatt back at quarterback. It's been Wimsatt and Simon about equal time so far today, and then give up the middle to Monangai. And he slams forward for about 4 before Vinny DePalma brings him down.
Hard run on that by Monangai. Just lowered his shoulder. Picked up a good 5 yards on first down.
That's the one thing that Boston College has not been able to do really all day, right? Just slam it in there and get 4 or 5 when you need them.
That's what they need to do at times, but good job by Rutgers.
Wimsatt again hands it off to Monangai, and again DePalma's there to make the tackle, falls forward for another couple of yards, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. This 3rd down is almost as big as the last one we just had.
What a position Rutgers got themselves into here. 3rd and 1, 4th quarter, you're down 6. This drive is for it all.
Monangai. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be right on the stick. I think he's going to pick it up. He is.
Yep, first down. New back in there. Salamson back in backfield. Same formation. Let's see if they just go back to this. 4 or 5 yards in a cloud of dust.
First time they've gotten a 3rd down conversion since the first quarter. Wimsatt's going to throw. On the rollout, had Cruikshank, but overthrew him.
Yeah, Cruikshank was wide open. Just a miss. Missed by Gavin Wimsatt.
Now 2nd down and 10, and that's sort of what you don't want if you're Rutgers, is to get behind the chains.
Yep.
They've had the success with the 4 yards and 5 yards running the football. Wimsatt stays in there. Handoff. A lot of room to run. Cuts it back inside. Monangai is able to get close to another 1st down.
Well, it looks like Monangai might be hurt a little bit as he limps off the field. Good job blocking. I mean, phenomenal job kicking out and getting that big lane. Monangai comes up a little sore.
Hammered again by DePalma. He and DePalma are getting to know each other pretty well this afternoon.
Salam back in the game on 3rd and 1. Gavin Wimsatt, always dangerous to take the ball himself up the middle.
He'll hand it off. Salam will roll to the 1st down.
And the clock becomes a factor with the way Rutgers is operating this drive. Run for 3 yards, run for 4 yards, run for 9 yards, run for 1 yard. You pick up 1st downs right now, and
10 yards a minute isn't going to get it done.
No, but on the flip side is, they understand, like, this is our drive, right? If we can go down and we can put a touchdown on the board, we're in the lead, and we can leave Boston College with no time left.
Langen. Got a block in front of him. Outside the 40, another 1st down.
And runs like that allow them to continue to keep the ball on the ground. When you can move the sticks, keep the clock running, you know, the thought is, okay, if we score here, we don't want to put the ball back in Phil Drakovic's hands, because even though that he's had a lot of pressure, once he can get the ball downfield, they've been dangerous.
Handing the ball off again to Monangai. He's back in there. That's moving the pile right there. That's 6+ yards.
Yeah, and really good by the offensive front for Rutgers, and just it's not good enough for Boston College's defensive front. I mean, they've tried to send a few run pressures. I wouldn't be surprised if they start stunting a couple defensive linemen up front just to try to create penetration, but this run game for Rutgers right now is dominating BC.
9th play of this drive. 7 of the first 8 plays have been runs. Here's another one. Monangai just bouncing off of would-be tacklers. I think he's going to be just a little bit shy. Again, another 3rd down and a yard.
And Crookshank, dangerous Aaron Crookshank, back in the game.
Maybe you're at midfield. Maybe you're at 4-down territory here if you're Rutgers. So you bring Crookshank in maybe to take a shot.
I think you bring Crookshank in to either give him a jet sweep or something. I think keep the ball on the ground here.
Monangai again, almost broke that one too. Just got through into the next level and picks up the 1st down. You could see even Lang in there with the motion of the chopping wood. That's the old saying for Greg Schiano, and this is exactly what this drive is. This drive is chopping wood right here.
This is chop, and I don't see them going away from that inside run play on 1st down.
Salam with the read, open, 30, 25, brought down at the 22 by Elijah Jones. Scarlet Knights are in business here.
Boston College defense got their hands on their hips. I mean, just absorbing blocks up front for this defensive line, and poor job by Bryce Steele getting downhill.
You only have 2 timeouts on the board, but do you use one here on defense if your team needs a break? I mean, they're on their heels right now. Wimsatt gives it off. Salam, it's inside the 5, he'll score!
Wow, what a drive. That is a Greg Schiano drive. The ball stayed on the ground every single play, and this Big Ten offensive front for Rutgers just handed it to Boston College.
Tammy to give Rutgers the lead. And he does. "12 plays, 96 yards in just over 5 minutes. Every one of those 96 on the ground and finished off by Al-Shadis Salam. Rutgers, their first lead of the day. Rutgers now with over 200 yards rushing on the day, and Mark, they just Big Ten'd him to death there on that drive, didn't they?
They did. Greg Schiano talked to us. Look, things might not always look pretty for us in this game, but we are going to do whatever it takes to get this win. And on that drive, what it took was running behind your big offensive line. Very experienced offensive line, not experienced as a unit together because of all the transfers, but they got body on body in loud running lanes for Monangai and Salam, and that was an impressive drive by Rutgers.
Nakatamni into the end zone. Williams will take a knee, and Phil Drakovic will have another shot. 2:43 left. It sets up for Boston College.
Here it is.
Plenty of time. Got 2 timeouts on the board. Only need a field goal to win.
This is it. You know, if I'm Boston College, I'm getting the ball out of Phil's hands fast. I'm starting with a screen play or a draw play to my running back, try to slow down the pass rush a little bit by Rutgers, And then you're starting working sidelines, quick routes, underneath crossing routes. And Rutgers, there's going to be no difference. Okay, where's 4, where's 80? Let's try to take those guys away, and then let's get our pressure up front from our front 4.
Jakovic, quick throw. There you go to the tight end, and Takis, the only pass he hasn't hauled in all day.
Little low, behind his receiver for Phil.
Pressure all over the place. They got him. Again, Izzian and Wesley Bailey converge on the quarterback.
And Izzian lined up over that slot receiver, and he creeped in. Watch for the right side of your screen. Just, a poor job of passing off the blitz and getting any contact by Ozzie Trapillo. And from both sides, Phil was just dumped on the ground. And now you got 3rd and 20. Zay Flowers, top of your screen. You got to imagine it's going there.
Rutgers only brings 3, so plenty of time, and now it breaks down. Bailey again. 4th sack of the day, 2nd in a row for this Rutgers defense.
How about that? That's the question coming in today for Boston College. How well can you protect Phil Dracovic? Can you give him enough time? Rutgers rushes 3. Phenomenal job by Wes Bailey, the 6'5", 250-pound sophomore out of Ottawa, Ontario.
Boston College.
Just dominating Ozzie Trapillo and bringing down Phil Dracovic for another sack.
And Jeff Hafley now, this is a tough spot. Calls one of his final 2 timeouts. There's 1:43 left, so he has 1 timeout. I think you have to, it's 4th and 25, but if you punt it away, you're not going to get the ball back, even if you stop him. You have to go for it here, I think.
And, okay, the risk reward, right? Do you put Phil back there knowing he has to sit back there for 2 or 3 seconds to let someone get 40 yards downfield? Like, you got to punt it away, but
it puts some more time on the clock.
Yeah, and with this time, there is enough time to get the ball back. However, you haven't stopped the run.
Right.
And so that you have to try to put it on your defense because.
And you got Cruikshank right here at midfield. He's as dangerous as you can get. Good punt by Longman. He's really had a good game. Cruikshank is just going to make the fair catch at his 48. 42 yards on the kick, no return. 1:51 left to go, and you got 1 timeout.
Then you got to have a 3 and out.
To have any shot.
To have any shot at all, and even if you do get the ball back, you talk about weapons. You're gonna get Adam Korsak punting the ball to you, so you got to anticipate going on another 90-plus yard drive if you do get the ball back. And Greg Schiano and his offensive staff is talking to Rutgers. Say, look, no penalties. Do not turn the ball over.
Rutgers,
hold on to the football. If you have to take a loss,
out.
That's fine, but let's not hurt ourselves here.
We talked earlier in the broadcast about how these two teams, when they were independents, when they were in the Big East, they would play each other all the time, and Rutgers hasn't beaten Boston College since 1991. And they're 1:51 from doing that and getting a huge win for Greg Schiano in his 3rd year back in his 2nd stint with this program. A lot of new faces on that Rutgers team. A lot of players still battling for positions.
Yeah.
Guys trying to see if they're going to, who are my starters going to be for the rest of the year when we get into Big Ten play. Coach Schiano's still finding it out. He's found out a lot today.
He has found out a lot, and interestingly, Evan Simon back in the game after Gavin Wimsatt was in all last series, but you got to imagine the ball's going to Kyle Monungai.
First down it does. He pushes the pile forward for 5 yards. Boston College uses their last timeout.
3rd and final timeout. Boston College, 1 minute timeout.
A run like that, and you can start warming up the bus. Our MVP of the game brought to you by Sport Clips. Kyle Monangai.
Yeah.
73 yards rushing and the touchdown.
In that last series, he was phenomenal. And he didn't score the final touchdown, but he was carrying the bulk of that load on that last drive down the game and done a good job of picking up blitzes, good job on the ground. And when you have a stable running back like Monangai, it allows you to have two different quarterbacks and switch them in and get the right guy on for the situation.
They've outrushed Boston College today, 216-29. A lot of those yards for BC, a lot of lost yards on those sacks.
Yeah.
And they won the turnover battle today, too. 2nd down and 5. Monangai. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
All right.
Marcus Valdez on the tackle. So got to get a stop here if you're BC. Absolutely got to have it.
Yeah, and with 3rd and 5, I don't expect Schiano and Sean Gleason to call much else besides, the run game. It might be a different run game call, but you want to either have a really short pass that's a completion to keep the clock running, or you just run the ball up the middle, hope you get the 5 yards, because if not, you got your all-world kicker who's going to pin them deep and rely on your defense. So play it safe here if you're Rutgers.
Monangai dropped at the line of scrimmage. Under a minute and ticking.
Going to punt the ball with about 18, 19 seconds left on the clock. Would expect Boston College to bring pressure on the punt.
Right. With Corsack there, you just let this play clock run all the way down and take a 5-yard penalty, I imagine.
Yep.
And just let him.
Or a timeout.
Off the corner. Yep, you got the timeouts on the board. You're right. This will go down right to about 17 seconds.
And you got to pressure him, because if not, you're going to see Kosar just stand back there for a while and then punt. Every second's going to count.
Yeah, you got to bring 12 people on this one. 3 of Corsack's 7 punts today have landed and been dead inside the 20.
30-second timeout.
It's his specialty, and he's lined up perfectly at midfield to do that. Phil Dracovic hoping for just one more shot.
.41 passing opportunities in this game. So trying to loosen that back up. He's going to have a nice ice bath after this, but a lot of work to be done regardless of the outcome for this offensive line for Boston College. I don't know if as many questions were answered for Jeff Hafley as there were for Greg Schiano.
That's a good point. Maybe more questions need to be answered before a trip to Virginia Tech next week. Corsack, and the flag comes down. That'll do it.
That's it.
Zay's going to want to get a big return here, but it's going to be academic. Zay steps out of bounds to bring the whistle, but Corsack was roughed. At the very least, a running into the punter, and that's going to be the game. Well, you had to come after him, Mark, and that's the risk you take.
Yep.
Running into the kicker. Defense, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
First down, Rutgers. They can take a knee and salt this one away.
Yep, you're up.
Got his leg.
And you're always taught when you're trying to block a punt, don't leave your feet. Good job by Rutgers. I mean, this was a hard-fought game. Schiano scrapped together the quarterback position, used a tight end to play quarterback, handed the ball off to his running back, but at the end of the day, they relied on what they're good at. Let's run the ball behind our Big Ten offensive line and pound it down Boston College's throat when it comes down to that final drive.
The former pupil and the master embrace at midfield. Our final score, Rutgers 22, Boston College 21. For Larisha Harris, Mark Kurtzlick, and our entire crew, I'm Chris Connor. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's send you to the studio now for everything that's going on around the ACC.